right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to the Real Precious. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know we're gonna have some people drop in, so I'm not even worried about that. We're gonna be worried about the people who are here because it's gonna be a good show tonight. It's always a good show. It always takes its twists and turns. But that makes for a good show. It makes for good perspective. It makes for good viewership. It also makes for people to think about certain things that we talk about because a lot of these things happen in real life. And I always like to get you guys' perspective. So if you're in the building, definitely make sure you hit that like button, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down, child. I don't care. Hit one of them. Okay. Hit one of them. All right. Any action interaction is good interaction, whether it's good or bad. How you feel is how you feel, and that's between you and Jesus. But over here, we would like you to interact, be interactive in the chat. If you're not up on stage, we definitely want your perspectives. There's some good videos tonight. So I definitely think that we're gonna have a good show for sure, for sure. R Payne, how are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing okay. Can't complain. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't
Yeah,
complain at all.
Thanksgiving's coming up, and one of my
Yeah,
cousins coming up from down south, staying with us for a couple of days.
nice, nice.
So she'll be at the dinner table.
Yeah, I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday. Because one, I get to eat, I get to eat all my favorite foods as much as I want on that day. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Okay. Just make sure I have the comfortable clothes, the stretchy pants, the
Just me and football. That's all I'll be watching football all day.
football as well. You're right about that. Football
Yep.
as well. And it's really just a time to be thankful. I believe that you have to walk in thankfulness. I think that should be something that everyone does every day, right? But that day to me is specifically reserved to just be thankful for your family, thankful for your friends, thankful for life. Because waking up on God's wake up list is a blessing, and a lot of people take that for granted. A lot of people love Christmas because of the gifts, and I like Christmas too. I like the lights and things of that nature. I even like the message of Christmas, but I think Thanksgiving, when you walk in generosity, that comes back to you. And a lot of people don't take it as seriously as they should. So this year, definitely, find something to be grateful about. That's another thing. We get into the regime of our lives and the patterns of our lives, and we get bogged down with what is going on, what is going wrong. But at the end of the day, there's always something to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
So that's why I love Thanksgiving. Families around, you get to love on everybody. And again, you get to eat. Jay Dub is in the building, formerly known as Jeffrey Woodland. Good evening, Sister Precious, the panel, the chat, and the mod.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Another
chat. Salute to the chat.
Yes, yes. Our pain is in that chat. A title with the word marry in it. This has got to be interesting. Yes, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Q is in the chat. Quincy, thank you so much for being here. Good evening, good people. He says, Champ Talk Reaction says, let's get it. Let's go. All right. Metalik says, smash the like button. Smash the like button and share this live. Share this as well as subscribe to the channel because we go live every Wednesday. We have these panel discussions. Men and women are welcome. This is a men's panel, but women are definitely welcome on the men's panel as well. Thank you so much for being here, Quincy. I appreciate you. Mentally, thank you so much again for telling folks what to do. Okay, that's why you're a mod. That's why you have a wrench. That's why you have a wrench because you're using it. Thank you. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into our first video. I saw this video, and Whitney Houston said the children are our future, child, but I don't know what's happening. However, in this particular video, it bothered me because this happens more than we shed light to it. And I think it needs to stop happening. But I'm going to let you guys watch the video. I did post it on my Instagram page. And so, people are talking about it. But this definitely needs to stop. And so we're definitely going to talk about this tonight. You guys, again, interact in that chat. I'll drop the link for if you like to join the show. You don't have to show your face the entire time, but I do need to know that you're a real person and that the only rule is be respectful, okay? Because if you're not, you're getting kicked out. That's just like that. All right, so let's go on to this video.
No, we talk about you, not about nobody else. We talk about you. Why you don't be with your daddy?
I just don't like that man. I don't like him. He not my dad. I don't give two craps. He's not my daddy. No, but for real, I don't like him. Put that on everything I love. I don't like him.
But remember, I told you you don't have to not like him because of me, right?
Yeah.
So you chose not
But
to
I
like
still
him
don't
yourself,
like
right?
him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But
I
why
like him.
Why you don't like him?
What he did at the doctor's, he was holding me down.
Oh,
And he wouldn't let me go.
he posted that video today and tried to make it like Nu tried to take you from him.
Cassie?
Remember the video?
Yes.
And Nu was walking out the door or whatever.
And he can.
Yeah. So
Man, that man weird, y'all. He's weird.
All right. So after looking at that, what are your first thoughts?
Why I gotta go first? I already told. Listen, I mean, it's just indicative of where what's left our community is. I was looking at the boy. I don't know if he's going to turn out to be gay or a killer. I don't know. I know he's not going to be a regular balanced man based on how he's growing up, and it's all his mother's fault. I don't care what he's trying to say. I don't care what he's saying.
Or a killer?
Yeah.
Why you say a killer though?
Because a lot of our wayward sons being raised by their mothers turn out. Who do you think is all those guys out there doing shit? 70% of them are boys raised by just women, and they grow into strong men with mentalities like his. So yeah, most likely, I mean, he might not be either. He might turn out to be a scholar, but he ain't. First of all, she shouldn't even be letting him say any of those things on social media.
Right.
So that's why it's her fault from the beginning. And that little flex of saying, well, I didn't tell you to say that, did I? I mean, that's just for the camera. He has a whole lifetime of her probably saying a lot of bad things about the man who gave her that baby.
Okay.
That's what I could be wrong, but that's the impression I get. Yeah, what's up, Trey? I mean, what's up, Ferg?
Coach Ferg, how are you?
How y'all doing today?
You might have to play the video for him again.
Yeah, I can play it again.
Check out this video, man. Maybe I'm wrong, but you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. You're the sage. I'm the old one, but you're the younger sage.
Oh my God. No. All right, here we go.
You need to no. We talk about you, not about nobody else. We talk about you. Why you don't be with your daddy?
I just don't like that man. I don't like him. He not my dad. I don't give two craps. He's not my daddy. No, but for real, I don't like him. Put that on everything I love. I don't like him.
But remember, I told you you don't have to not like him because of me, right?
Yeah.
So you chose not to like him yourself, right?
But I still don't like him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. But
I like him.
Why you don't like him?
What he did at the doctor's, he was holding me down.
Oh.
And he wouldn't let me go.
He posted that video today and tried to make it like Nu tried to take you from him.
Cassie?
Remember the video?
Yes.
And Nu was walking out the door or whatever.
And he can.
Yeah. So
Man, that man weird, y'all. He's weird.
Right. Hello, Champ Talk Reactions. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. All right, Coach Ferg. So what you think?
I don't know what to say. This is a common thing. This is not nothing new. It's been going on for years. And it's all learned behavior. It's all learned behavior. She's talked to him, like I heard Ron Payne say, she's talked to her son several times about him. You don't have to like him because of me. What does that mean? What do you it's just sad because that child will grow up and I'll probably repeat the same type of behavior as those two parents. And I guarantee he won't have that same sentiment if he's on the other side of that baby daddy situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he's going to learn a lot of what he's learning. And it's sad because he's probably at that age where he needs his father more than anything now. He's going to pick up a lot of mannerisms from her. He's going to have that same type of little sassiness that the guys be having, but it's all learned behavior. It's unfortunate. I was talking to my wife in my last thing. I think by default, once the paternity is established, it should be joint custody automatically coming out the gate, because this young boy needs another different information. He needs to hear information from, even if his father turns out to be the guy that this little boy claims, let him find out for himself.
Right.
Because I don't think any man about anything will feed his son or daughter any bullshit ass information to not make them better, unless he's just fucked up. But this is where we are, and it's unfortunate because that's a little skinny dude. I don't know. 2 years down the road, he'd be over like that, talking about, "Mama, let me put on you." I work with a lot of this type of population, and it's just unfortunate. Though. It's just unfortunate, you know. So, yeah, I don't know.
I definitely agree with a lot of what you said, Coach Ferry. Thank you. Hello, Uncle Rick. How are you? You're still on mute. You're still on. There you go.
Hey, Miss Precious, how you doing? How you
I'm
doing?
doing well.
Good. Arpain, what's good, my boy? What's happening with you, my guy?
What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
Man, everything. We just trying to get through the week. You know how I go.
You got it, man.
Mr. Ferg, my brother, Champ Talk. How you doing, bro? How you doing? Shout out to the chat.
What's up, brother?
Chat.
All right.
Man, bro, like I keep trying to tell y'all, this how you know God a man.
Mm.
People treat men exactly like they treat God. When you think about it, he don't matter till you ready to be saved, right?
Mm.
He don't exist. He's irrelevant until you need some help. But on this video, right? Let's say his daddy is everything he said. He's weird. His dad a freak. That's your mama's fault. Did you hear what I said? He was good enough to lay down with, but not good enough to raise you. I'm so tired. I'm tired of people saying we don't need to play the blame game. Blame needs to be played so you can start a solution.
Mm.
And to sit up here and to put it out in the public like, oh, I didn't tell you don't like him. You can tell him that all day. He see how you act towards his father. It's past the point of son husbands. These women's out there raising their girlfriends now.
Oof.
But what do I know? That's all I got on.
Mm. A lot. All right, Champ. What you got on?
All right. Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I think it's wild. You know, if it like he said that he held me down at the doctor's office. Did they even really give an explanation of why of that? Like, why was he having to hold you down? Was you scared to get shots? You know, what's going on?
Right.
But so it just goes to show that he was there and he was trying, you know. So I raised my daughter, you know what I'm saying? She's 16 now. She goes to her mom in the summertime. If I seen her posting a video like this with her mama laughing in the background, my dad weird, this and that, I would be heartbroken. You know, mainly because I'm trying. So if I'm making doctor's appointments, I'm trying.
That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like I could easily and then this will be the type of woman that will be online saying, I got a deadbeat.
Right.
I got a deadbeat baby dad. he don't show up, he don't do this, he don't do that, but I'm making doctor's appointments. So yeah, that whole thing, man, that's heartbreaking. And I agree that that kid is gonna be online twerking. He gonna be online twerking, doing flips in the gymnasium, landing in the splits. And his mama gonna be cheering him on, agging him on, talking about that's my baby. Because she obviously talks bad about that kid's dad in front of him. All he did was repeat everything he heard her say. That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah. It seems like, and I agree with everything that everyone said. Joe, I don't know if you wanted to chime in on the conversation, or you just watching, or I was going to give my perspective after everybody went.
You're on mute, Joe.
I know, guys. Sorry, I'm at work. The service sucks. I can't even see myself on the screen, but you guys could see me.
Yeah.
And I apologize if I sound bad. If I do, let me know and I'll shut the mic. But yeah, I seen that video. Listen, what's done is done. That kid's already headed for a really difficult future. I try to look at the preventative measures. She didn't just become that way. So the father, ignored those red flags. I keep talking about red flags because she didn't just become that way. He had to see that and just ignored it. That kid's like 8 years old, you know? And that's just some of the things I keep looking for in order to avoid. But yeah, you don't do that. You should never talk bad about your significant other in front of your kids. My parents used to argue all the time. Didn't really affect us, but in a sense, it kind of did, you know? So you try to avoid that. But for her to co-sign his shit, that's dead wrong. I feel bad for the guy. Then again, I don't know what the guy's done. You know? Anybody even hear me?
Yeah, we
hear you. We hear you.
Oh, you do? Okay.
we're listening. So like you said, you don't know what the guy's done, right? So if you listen closely, it seemed like he was posting videos too. However, the little boy probably lives with his mom, right? And so, like Champ was saying, if I saw a video like this, I would be heartbroken. Like I'm trying, doctor's appointments, you got to schedule out time. You probably got to miss work. The kid probably missing a little bit of school. You got to get back to work. The kid got to get back to school. While it's your responsibility, it is something that does take away from what you're doing and things of that nature. So my assumption is he probably saw her video and did a reaction video or telling his side of the story or telling of another incident. And so together, they're wrong. But at the same time, if the little boy is living in the house of the woman, and I don't think either parent should badmouth either parent. I think that a child's relationship with their parents is their own, right? So a parent shouldn't be coaching a child on the negative attributes, behaviors, things of that nature of the other parents. The child is going to see that. Children are closer to God than we are. So, they probably feel it in their spirit before we do. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're not a nice person. Oh, they're a bad person and things of that nature. But instead of her saying, she did say, why do you feel this way about your father? But instead of saying, okay, well, maybe you should sit down and talk to your father, or, maybe this should be a conversation that you guys have when you're, playing basketball or playing the game or whatever the situation is. She goes into, well, you don't got to not like him because of me, right? And it's like, that's not the direction you go when it comes to that. And I think a lot of parents have this issue and they don't even know that they're doing it. In the moment, they may be like, dang, like I really had that conversation with them. And some of them just don't care. Some parents just don't care. But like Joe was saying, it's like, okay, you had to have seen these signs of this woman. And a lot of women are malicious. They're vindictive, right? When they don't get their way, when they get mad, when things don't go the way that they planned it, the way that they wanted it, they will do things to try to destroy a man. And one way you can destroy a man is by taking his son, by corrupting his son's mind. And not just the son, the daughters too, but a man and his son is something sacred to, just like a mom in her relationship with her mother is something sacred, because you're alike in ways, and therefore you bond probably over the same things. You create your relationship, you grow your relationship that way. And so for her to assist him in tearing down a man that she opened her legs with and had a baby with, whether you like him or not, you should respect him being the father of your child and not the man that you couldn't work a relationship out with. And I think that's where a lot of parents go wrong. You're parenting your child through the eyes of a failed relationship instead of the eyes of a parent doing their job with their child, and that don't have nothing to do with you. Her relationship with her son should have nothing to do with the ill will and the reason why they broke up, and vice versa. Your relationship with your son should be purely a relationship with your son based off of you being a parent, a mother to him, and nurturing him and loving him and taking him as far as he can go, because women can't raise men. I don't think that women can raise men. You can nurture them, you can care for them, but I don't think that you can raise them into being men. They need men to do that. That's my opinion. And so she definitely got online, and I didn't see his video. She explained his video. And like I said, I believe that he's wrong for that too, because I came up in the era, what happens in this house stays in this house. And while that may have been unhealthy for some people, it did teach you how to hold back and not put your business in the street and not have the whole community knowing what's going on in your house. You may have gone to a trusted friend or a therapist, or, now in the day of social media, you can't expect nobody to not be in your business once you hit the post button. Like that can't be the reality that you think you're going to live once you hit that post button. People are now in your business because you allow them to be in your business. And so, in this day and age with social media, where people think that this is a venting session, this is the question of the hour type of post. No, this is your intimate business with your child and the person that you procreated with. And women need to do a better job of just letting a father be a father. Let your child spend time with their father. Let your child, yes, have an opinion about the other parent, but also encourage them to have that conversation with that parent. Not for you to take it into your own hands to then paint this picture for the child that now you're also adding color to that picture. No, that picture just needs to be painted with him and his father. It doesn't need any extras from mom, especially if y'all are not together. Y'all are not together. You need to do your job as a mom and encourage your child, but you also need to do a better job at respecting the person that you had a child with, enough to not have them out here looking crazy in the streets. Because again, you laid down and had a baby with him. He couldn't have been that bad if you opening your legs to him. So that all comes back as a reflection on you as a woman. So why would you want to badmouth the person that is actually helping you raise a child, which is not an easy task? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I know he said something. I know he said something that really hit me. I know it's her, right? When he said, "In spite of all that I love, I don't like that man." No kid talks like that.
Right.
He heard his mother say that 1,000 times. Right. I never heard a kid say, "In spite of all that I love, I don't like that man." I mean, come on. It's not like she read that to him in bedtime story a couple of times.
Kids are definitely sponges, and so they will repeat it and act like they came up with it. Okay. They're sponges. They watches everything you do. And I forget who said it. Maybe Coach Ferg said it. I believe that, parents try to protect children from the parent who may not have it all, or may be struggling, or have these flaws. We're all flawed, right? But I also agree with Coach Ferg in saying that's his father. That's the first man in his life. And so if he's going to have an outlook on his father, let him have that outlook on his father. His father may not be the best. He may not always be around. He may not always, do the things again that she would want him to do as a father, but y'all are not one. Y'all are not together. And so you're not making the decisions together. And so sometimes a child does have to see their parent just for who they are, and their actions and what they say and how they act and how they're there and how they're not there. Children need to see that on their own, and they will. I don't know why people think that they have to coach children and how they feel about the people around them. Children are going to do that automatically. You just got to sit back and let it happen. Children are going to do that. But it's for you to foster a healthy relationship with children instead of turning it into a negative. Because you also are teaching them how to express their feelings. And we're going to get into that. Men expressing their feelings, right? It also, it trains them to express their feelings in a negative way. So now everything going to be negative. Now you're going to see the negative in everything. And you don't like this and you don't like that. But it doesn't teach you how to see another side. You only see what's being fed to you and what's being, probably spewed out of this woman's mouth about this man, because it didn't work between her and him. But that's not the child's problem. That's not the child's problem. But you make it their problem when you coach them in the negativity. And this causes parent alienation. This causes the child, oh, I don't want to be around that man. I don't like that man. That's your father. I don't care what you don't like about him. That's your father. What do you mean? As long as he's not putting you in dangerous situations, he's going to protect you the best way you know how. You're going to respect him. And that's how a parent should be talking to their child. And then it turns into, oh, you're not going to respect authority. That's how children don't respect authority. So it is such a domino effect of things that parents don't realize that they're actually teaching their kids, because it's not, oh, let me show you an example of not respecting authority specifically. This is it. You're just not calling it that, but this is it.
All right. It definitely has her buy-in. You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest issue that people neglect when talking about these things, right? So, for example, and I'll be transparent. I raised my middle son wholeheartedly, right? I got two kids by the same woman, right? She raised the older son. She didn't want to keep my second son, so I took him. I took him on. It's not like I wouldn't took the first one. She just wanted to fight for him because that was her baby, right? When things came up, right, about my son, when he found out, my son didn't meet her until he turned 28.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And when things start coming to light, when he start having conversations with his older brother and his younger sister, half sister, because she had kids after him and kept them.
Oh,
right, right. And he got to talking. I said, "What do I say?" I say, "Hey, you need to talk to her. Don't talk about your mother like that. She's still your mom." Right? Any ideas you want to establish about her, you need to talk to her, face to face, son to mother, and then you can make those assumptions. But as of right now, don't disrespect your mom. Yeah. Was that the case in that video?
Sure wasn't.
It looked like to me that she was cheerleading, guiding him. So for her to use the example of, I tell you, that doesn't matter what you say, it's what you do. It's what you do.
Yeah. And then to put it on the internet as if You thought, I mean, I think people do this for their family members. I think it's something that they do to be like, let me show them. Let me tell them. Let me actually put on blast what's truly happening when you're only seeing it from such a minuscule view when you try and do stuff like that. You see
Hey,
such a
oh, go ahead.
small.
I'm sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead. Go
sorry. I was about to say something you said was absolutely right. Like you let the kid figure out, what's the shortcomings of that parent. When you try to push those things on them, then that turns into resentment towards you when they get older. You know what I'm saying? Um, and most kids start to figure those things out when that kid become a teenager. They like, man, you know what, my dad inconsistent. Why come he told me he was gonna pick me up last week and he ain't come pick me up? Or whenever he come around, he just give me money real quick and then scoot off. Like you start to see those things as you get older. Your mom, your dad, they don't even have to put that in your head,
Right.
and for him to be that young and for her to be in the background, I ain't tell you to say this, did I? We ain't even gonna talk about, like, come on, shorty. You told him in a way, regardless. He talking like he 45 years old. You know what I'm saying? He talking like he's sitting around with you and your girls at the nail shop. Hey, girl, look, we gonna be, you know what I'm saying? And so this is how you know automatically that, bro, that she already just putting those little bugs in his ear. Your daddy ain't nothing. No, I'm not telling you directly, but I'm telling my girlfriend Sherry and Cheryl while you right next to us, but your daddy ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just seeing that video is just wild to me. It just keep replaying in my mind right now.
What- I've experienced this in working with young guys like this, and I guess they don't think that the child will grow up in a sense.
Mm.
It's been spoken of. Everybody's hitting on it because I believe everybody can relate to this type of situation at some point in their family where a mother, your daddy ain't shit. But did you tell your son or daughter that you only gave him some coochie in the backseat of a Jeep? Y'all didn't have no relationship. Did you tell him that you know what I'm saying, that he gave you $40 for a good time? See, but the daddy ain't shit. But again, I think one of the best ways to change this dynamic is once we establish paternity, both of us get joint custody. I don't give a damn if me and the mother ain't in a relationship. But again, women will never sign off on that because they use children like him. That's a meal ticket. That's money. 18 years of my life. That's extra cash. And if a dude, that's why I say if a brother has a child like that, man, just pay your little child support and continue to fight on your little off days during the week. Set you up a court date, take your ass in there and tell them, listen, I got all this fucking evidence. YouTube levels the playing field. She's been on here promoting my son to say fuck me.
Mm-hmm.
She's a bad parent. And fight that shit. Don't wait till after the fact, then you fighting an uphill battle. Get ahead of it early. You know what I'm saying? Because this child, at some point, like my man said, he's gonna start looking at his mama for the bullshit. Now he's a grown man, don't know what it's like to be a man, seeing all kinds of bullshit. Then once he turns into that monster, he gonna treat every woman like they ain't shit. And I think women, they so caught up in their selfish ways that, why would you put this out there? This shit never goes away. I've talked to so many young guys like, man, listen, it's your mother, I understand. But now use this fuel to better yourself, to be different. I would like to see his fucking report card. He better be making all fucking A's. I want to see the report card. I want to see that because this is just teenage behavior. It's sad. I guarantee she's probably in her 30s, and she's behaving like teenagers, which is unfortunate because Brothers, he gonna have to figure it out on his own at some point. So
I mean, our Payne at the top of the show said he would either be gay or a killer, right? So this is how, you know how women have those gay friends, right? Because the gays are closer to the chatter and they always know the tea and all of that. This is that behavior. This is how that turns into that behavior, right? It turns into him hearing mom and her friends cackling and making fun of, and then he starts taking on those mannerisms, taking on that certain twang that they talk with the girls, you know. And if his father, his father took him to a doctor's appointment, so his father is going to see how this is seeping into his manhood. And godly, it might be too late for him to be like, hello, the hell you doing, son? It might be too late for him to even turn it around. Or, Coach Ferg was saying, because I was going to ask the question, if you saw this video of your son being circulated, what would you do? And I think Coach Ferg answered it. I'm going to the courthouse. I mean, I don't want to answer for y'all, but you need to snatch up your son. Like this is the time where you snatch him up. Because Joe said he sounded like, or he looked like he was 8, but he looked a little older than that to
about
me.
11. About 11, between 11 and 12.
12, yeah. So, this is a pivotal age. You're turning into a teenager. This is the time whether you find out if you like boys or girls. I mean, I'm just saying, and if you hanging around all that feminine energy, you just may like to be around women for the drama of it all. And not, look, this is how they are. They're there for the drama of it all, right? And then their female friends go to the gay friends because maybe they female friends not available, right? And so they go to the gay guy friend for the drama of it all, because he gonna hype her head up just like the friend that's not available. She just got, she getting her hair done or something. She busy. So now I'm gonna go to the man who can give me that same feminine energy, rile me up just like my girl can, and I'll be all right. I'll be cool. I'm good. I'm good. But these are the times where if his father saw that video, he needs to say, I need to go get my son. And my son needs to come live with me now. Pronto. Pronto. And like Coach Ferg said, this is a prime example of her exploiting her son and making the father the villain when he's in parenthood, just like you in parenthood. Y'all in the same hood. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I think, but like she said, he posted a video too. He needs to remove himself from that, doing those childlike behaviors too. I don't know what the situation is either, but you don't stoop to the level of a woman. Men don't do it. Don't stoop to the level of a woman. You are held superior for a reason, for you to set an example, to be a leader. And if you have to take your son and have her visitation rights and you raise your child, then that's what you're going to have to do. In my opinion.
That's probably the hardest fight for any man. The hardest fight for any man is the fight for his child. It's emotionally draining.
Yeah, it is. But however, and look, I've heard that from a lot of men who have children, especially men with daughters. It's it's even harder then, because it's like, okay, my daughter don't like me, blah, 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 blah. But I think the parent who has a child has a huge responsibility and a huge, I feel like, fiduciary responsibility in parenthood to still cover the other parent. I just do, whether you're married to them or not. I think that you have that duty to still cover the child in a way that they will experience their parents in their own right and in their own way. Because again, at the end of the day, you made it your responsibility to be irresponsible and have a child with this person. And so you're gonna have to deal with it. Those are things that you have to deal with when you want to be an adult, when you're trying to be fast, when you're trying to be grown. It just is. It separates the boys from the men and the girls from the women. You either gonna handle your responsibility or you're not. And that responsibility comes in when you're not vetting, when you're not doing it the right way, when you're not doing it God's way. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing it that way, then you're fucked anyway. Like, excuse my language, but you are. So now you got to deal with what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it. This is the aftermath. So I hear men saying that it's draining. That means you need to keep your nut inside of your penis. I mean, it don't get no realer than that, right? If you ain't trying to be drained on this end, don't drain on the other end. Just don't do it, okay? Because some women will try to destroy your life, and you will wonder what is going, like, what? It was just one night. It was just a couple months, and you're trying to pick up the pieces, and they laughing all the way to the bank, or they laughing, with your child and spewing this type of rhetoric with your child. And at some point it can get out of control. So, you just gotta be more careful out here in these streets, but do the best that you can to be the best parent that you can. And that should include not downing the other parent. That should just automatically include it. But everybody's not mature. Everybody can't take on responsibility head on and do what they have to do. They feel like bringing other people down is part of that mission when it don't have to be. It don't have to be. Just be an adult, talk to somebody if you got issues, and don't put your children on the internet. Like, I just don't understand it. I don't get it. Don't put your children on the internet like that, because then he gonna have to answer to people that know him personally at 11 years old. Like, hey, I saw your video on social media. Like, what? You're 11. Like Coach Ferg said, what do your grades look like? All right. So we're going to move on to the next video. We're going to switch gears a little bit. We're just going to switch gears a little bit. Saw this video of this guy talking about first date and first date teens. And I wanted to get you guys' opinion. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Definitely share the live with somebody. They can listen in, they can join the panel, or they could be a chat warrior. But this guy, we used to do mixed messages on when we had the Monday night shows. And so you guys let me know if this is a mixed message.
Father of young women, I would definitely say no young woman should have sex after the first date. That man will never truly respect that woman or hold as a woman of value, because in the back of his mind, he's going to say who else she has done this with. Now, to my sons, I'm not going to be no hypocrite. To my sons, you go out on the first date and she look good and she bad, she tough. Hell yeah, I'm trying to have sex on the first date. Built like a brick house, shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle. Beautiful, smooth, silky smooth.
What makes you a hypocrite is that you think the rule for women should not reflect the rule for men.
But at the same time, I gotta keep it real. Ain't no man gonna go out with a woman and hope he don't get lucky on the first date if he can.
And the hypocrisy is that you are condemning women, you are calling them basically sluts. Let's say you go out with a woman that gives it up to you on the first date and it creates a baby.
But that's the subject that many people don't want to talk about. How many women got pregnant through unwanted pregnancies, and now we have children by men that didn't want the baby. Maybe the mama didn't want it either. See, we got to do a better job of protecting ourselves when we sexually engage one another, because we are producing unwanted pregnancies that are automatically born out of broken homes, because the home was never planned to be together.
The video cut there, but you could tell the other guy wanted to be like, but you just said. All right. So what do you guys think? Do you think it is a mixed message, or do you agree with him?
There's no mixed messaging,
Okay.
none whatsoever. Double standards exist. Let me pose something to you, right? Even with the, and this will tie into the last video. With the last video, you and most people, right, think that he picked his child's mother and he has to step up to minimize the damage. Is that fair? She has a responsibility, right?
Yeah.
But you said it yourself, right? Men, you are held to you're supposed to be held to a higher accord than women. Don't go down there with her. Why? Because she's of lower status, right?
She's the weaker vessel.
Right. You don't expect her to move outside of her nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that men are expected to move outside of theirs? Why is that? Right? And the example the brother, again, look, keys and locks go together, but they both have different functions, don't they? A lock ain't nothing without a key, right? You have to kick the door in. You have to break the door down, right? They go together, they're matched, but they have two totally different purposes and actions. Women, your major presentation that you have to men is your sex, whether y'all want to admit it or not, whether you like it or not, right? That is part. I mean, y'all devalued it. I mean, it's going down like the Brazilian dollar, but who cares, right? Y'all devalued it, but that's you guys' currency. No matter what y'all say, sex to a man, we try to have these conversations now. I'm on my purpose. I'm the man. Woo, woo, woo. Ego. I'm the man. Ooh, rah, right? But the truth is, every man understands that if he's able to get a woman, that's a reward. If he's able to sleep with you on the first night, you are rewarding him for something. I don't know what it is. You like him, he got motion, or pain, he the Riz God, whatever, right? It doesn't weigh the same. We keep trying to make things that are based in nature, that was built and put here for centuries by God to keep this thing going, and we try to set it on its head. It just doesn't work that way, people. No matter how many times you try to convince yourself, it doesn't work that way. If you sleep with him on the first date, you either one or two things. He was the man or you're a slut. Take your pick. Take your pick. It's one of those. Stop asking men to fight their nature when you guys, the ladies, the modern woman refuses to fight theirs. And if that's the case, if we're expected to do this and this is what's needed to make society keep running, then we need to have a real conversation on the hierarchy of things. But then that would be that modern women will have to admit that they're beneath a man.
Did you hear what I said?
That their judgment isn't on the same level as a man.
Did you hear what I said?
That they're not able to control their nature. I'm just a woman. This is how women act. But y'all ain't ready for them conversations. That's all I got.
Who want to go after that? RP, you're on mute.
Real quick, yeah, I'm off now. I just I don't want to try to add to anything because he hit the main thing that I always say. People act like we're not subject to the laws of nature. We are. That shit trumps everything. All this stuff we're talking about. You know, I got a glimpse of the P Network. He had a guy on there who was pandering to women. who was blaming when a woman says I'm celibate, and then a guy comes on and says, you know, I'm not going to go with you if I can't have sex with you, and then she gives in, right? So he's saying how men need to control themselves. Well, how come he didn't say that she said she was celibate? If the guy wasn't going to buy that, she should kick him out. So but no, he was blaming it on a man for talking her out of her sex. I said, you know, so what I'm saying is it's one of those kind of things. And my man at the table, getting back to the point, the brother is, the way his delivery is, that he should have just been more succinct. Every man who approaches a woman who's not his mother, sister, daughter, or whatever, going to talk, he wants to have sex with her. Period. He wants to have, and then the other part is, you know, men usually take sex from women any way you guys choose to give it. Any way you guys choose to give it. You know, so all this other kind of stuff is we both have responsibility. I understand that. And you know what? The law punishes men for his superiority over the sexual activity. That's why women could do any goddamn thing they want when they get pregnant. They could have it, they could get rid of it, they could do it. But a man has to pay. A man has to pay. Sometimes would be going put in jail. So somehow the law kind of recognizes that a man somehow has superiority, even though he doesn't control the sexual marketplace. They're saying his manipulation is superior to the woman's resistance. That's what I take out of that. So, I mean, it's a natural thing. I mean, I don't want to keep droning on and on because Ricky said a lot of good stuff, but that's why I'm an advocate. You can't put men in female prisons as guards, and you can't have women in male prisons as guards. It's just idiotic. It's idiotic for the nation. They do it because of this identity politics bullshit, but it's always a disaster. For different reasons. And I don't call them double standards. I call them different standards. We're not on the same standard, men and women. We're not. We're not equal. We're not the same. I'll land it there.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Have women in men prison.
Say that again?
I said it does seem kind of weird to have women working in a men's prison.
It's idiotic.
No,
yeah,
that's hypocrisy, right?
Right.
You won't allow a male cop to frisk a woman during arrest, but you'll put a male cop in a female prison.
Yeah, that seems.
That's hypocrisy.
You know, I never really thought about it, but when Arpane said it, I'm like, ooh.
I mean, and maybe the dynamic is different, right? Because the prisoners in the male prison, they seduce the guards. They do all kinds of dumb shit. A few are going to jail right now. In the woman's prison, they have the ladies under us. You want an extra pair of dry socks? You got to perform. That's a different dynamic for that sex.
Not an extra.
They don't necessarily have to seduce those chicks.
And it's
right. They could extort it.
And it's never seen the proof again in the pudding is that it's never seen that the woman forces or seduces a man.
Right.
Nobody. It's so ingrained in nature in our psyche. You got to convince yourself that could actually happen.
Yes, that's true too.
Well, I honestly think it happens to men when they're younger, but it's not something that they're going to talk about. I think a lot of men have experienced older women who have seduced them or who have talked, frisky to them. And because it was an older woman, it was like, oh, it was cool. I got some coochie from an older woman and da 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 da. But that woman seduced you.
That's a seduction.
The reward of sleeping with an older lady.
Right. However, that's not something that men really talk about. So if y'all going to keep secret about it, it ain't going to get out there if y'all the ones being, not y'all, but men in general being the ones that's happening to. Women will report their essays and things of that nature. That's not necessarily something that a man is going to report and feel like he did something good and got that off his chest and got that person, the justice that he deserved. He's not going to seek that because of the kind of situation that it is. Like, you know what I mean? So if y'all don't say anything, then yeah, I mean, it's not.
Let me correct one thing, though, Precious, if I can. You talk about age. If it's a teenager, oh, he's talking. That's why they're throwing those ladies in jail. Ain't no way a lady should trust a 17, 18-year-old with that kind of secret. I bust down the teacher. He is talking, but not from the fact that I got seduced. He's bragging.
Right.
He ain't gonna hold that secret.
It's the dynamic, Pain.
Yeah.
Look. I cannot give any woman dick until she gives me some pussy.
Right. That's true.
That's why when y'all say that you know you got yourself pregnant, a dick gon' dick. Y'all do y'all understand what you picking up what I'm putting down? Right? What's the woman's responsibility? I've been asking it forever, Arpain. What's the woman's responsibility in this thing?
To withhold it. To withhold.
The one thing, listen to what I'm saying, right? The one thing you were supposed to be able to not to say, you were supposed to be a girl supposed to say about herself, be able to say, right? I ain't no hoe. You must think I'm a hoe. It's the one thing. Look, this how crazy it is, right? Y'all was responsible for two things, right? Y'all responsible for raising the kids in your box. That's what y'all supposed to be responsible for. But now y'all ain't even responsible for the kids. Y'all can have the kids all day life long. And when the kid is good, you get the reward. But when he's bad, that's their daddy's child. The one thing y'all as a woman supposed to be responsible for, y'all put off on the man. Y'all know y'all be lying. So if you know that we be lying, you don't know we be lying? It's my job. Yeah, that's like telling a dog stop barking. What you barking at? What you barking at? Shut up. What you barking at? My job is to pursue you and spread my seed. It's our nature. You guys want us to forget our nature. And y'all wonder why things are the way they are. Y'all wonder why these men out here are soft as baby duty. Look, I wish it was something that men could fix. Because if men could fix it, we'd have did it already. What's going on culturally in the Western world is a woman's problem. It really is. Y'all see it, but because y'all nature can't take accountability in full form, it's the daddy's fault. It's the daddy's fault that kid the way he is. You better step up, fight for your kids. Make sure go get your son, right? Never, be a better mother.
Did you hear what I said?
It's never that. But what do I know?
Who's next?
Hey man, that's tough to follow. You feel me? But no, I was just gonna say, there's a bunch of double standards out there. We just gotta understand that they exist. We'll get dressed up to the T, go to the club, Louis Vuitton on, Gucci on, got the Gucci shoes. Guess what? If that line long, we stand into the back of that mug. You feel me? The bouncer not like, oh, come on, dog, you fresh tonight. Like, we just got to understand that, double standards exist. Now, let a woman come out looking super good, chocolate, walking past the hey, come on, get on in here. The double standards, they just exist. Like, you're going to try. And the thing is, I think that the difference is when that first date happens, right? If me and her been talking for, let's just say we've been talking, getting to know each other, we on FaceTime, we doing all this, and let's just say that a month go by, 2 months go by. We like, know what? This is really rocking. Let's go out. Now I didn't put some time and effort in. Like we both didn't put some time and effort in. So if we get to it, we already know that the chemistry's there, but we also put some time in. But if I just met you, we was at the lounge and I met you last week. We talked for, a couple days and now I'm in it. Yeah, like you might just get slotted. You might just get slotted because we all listen. Any man know that there's a lot of I ain't never done this before. Fellas, y'all ain't never heard that? I ain't never, and then she turned into a pro. I ain't never, I don't normally do this. Next thing you know, she a pro. Like, come on, bro. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Soon as she sit down, listen, I used to be in the army. Soon as she sit down on that bed, hey, there's a chair there. There's a chair there. You sitting on my bed. That's, you feel me? I'm letting you know what. Oh, and back in the day, them shits was twin size, but it didn't matter. But look, you sit on this bed, shorty. Like we here, but you sit on the bed. Some things could happen. Boy, you crazy. Ain't nothing going. Now she leaving at 2 a.m. with her wig sideways.
Hey, and
I'm just saying.
Champ talk, and she'll get mad if you don't try.
Right.
And
like,
she
so
gonna
what
get mad
made me
if you
different?
don't try.
That's big facts. What make me different? Why you ain't you said if I sit on your bed? Yeah, you know what I did? Lights off. Like I'm just telling you. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, it is crazy. We just go through life like that, man. I mean, there's just a bunch of things that you don't want your son doing or that you'll tell your son to do. As a man, I'm gonna tell my daughter, hell no, we ain't on that. No, we're not on that. That's just what it is, man. I'm a let in there though, man. But that whole thing is wild.
Every time I got something, I was seduced. Every time. I've always been seduced. Every time.
I like the way you've always been seduced every time.
Talk about it, coach. Talk about it, coach.
I'm just saying.
About it, coach.
I've always been seduced. And it's crazy. They've always taken off their panties.
Finesse you out them draws, huh,
Yeah,
coach?
I didn't even know what was happening. I didn't even know.
I told them that I don't do this. I told them I don't do this on a regular basis. They took off those panties and they put my hand there. They pulled me over there. They did all this stuff I didn't want to do. What was I supposed to do?
They were the aggressors. You've always been aggressed.
Yeah, they've always been the aggressor to me, right? So, like Brother Rick said,
Are you serious?
Like Brother Rick
I
said,
ain't never had in all my days, which is a lot of days, I only had to ask one woman for some box, and and I married her. Every other woman gave me box willingly.
Willingly.
Let's make this pop. What you waiting on? Let's get it popping.
Yeah.
Not the what's taking so long.
Yes, ma'am. I don't chase no box. I sit in the cut. You rock with me. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's how men move. It's gonna happen. All I gotta do is be me.
That's it. I met a female.
Never ever have I asked no woman. One woman.
I'm scared to hear you.
No. Before I got married, I met this female, right? Before I got married. She invited me over. And I've always been, listen, I grew up with women, so I ain't chasing it. I ain't rushing it. So I'm sitting back in the chair after about an hour or so. She go talk about, you don't like me? I'm like, what you talking about? You ain't trying to touch me. I said, listen, I'm not new to this game. You ain't invite me in. And why'd I say that? She was like, hold on. She went to the back, came out. She had on some 3-inch heels, and that was it.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what the hell? She's like, yeah, but like he said, if a guy is true to who he is and he can move a certain way, he got his little smell good on, he looked like he got a nice little job, he pull up in his ride, that's half the battle right there.
You gonna reward me.
That's half the battle.
You gonna reward me
So,
for being me. Either that, and you don't know me from a can of paint, and you a trick.
That's it. And like you
You
said,
see
I
how
don't
it worked. This how it worked for real.
I don't really
This how
do
it
this.
works for real.
I don't
I'm telling
normally
you,
do
y'all.
this.
We gotta
However,
stop this, bro. We gotta stop these lies, bro. We gotta
my
stop it.
shit done disappeared. Where's it at? She like, oh, what? Yeah, it happens like that. I mean, they do that. You know what?
You have to do.
Hey, listen. Salute to all the one timers, man. Salute to the. Hey,
I see
salute to
y'all.
y'all.
I see y'all. America
Hey,
need you.
hey,
America
big
need y'all.
big facts. They are needed and appreciated, man.
Yeah,
All right,
keep up
so
the good work.
so the man said, I'm gonna play it for those who just walked in the building. Okay, hit that like button, share, subscribe, and do your thing in the chat. All right, I'm gonna play it for those who just walked in, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay.
As a father of young women, I would definitely say no young woman should have sex after the first date. That man will never truly respect that woman or hold as a woman of value, because in the back of his mind, he's going to say who else she has done this with. Now, to my sons, I'm not going to be no hypocrite. To my sons, you go out on the first date and she look good and she bad, she tough. Hell yeah, I'm trying to have sex on the first date. Built like a brick house, shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle. Beautiful, smooth, silky smooth.
What makes you a hypocrite is that you think the rule for women should not reflect the rule for men.
But at the same time, I gotta keep it real. Ain't no man gonna go out with a woman and hope he don't get lucky on the first date if he can.
And the hypocrisy is that you are condemning women, you are calling them basically sluts. Let's say you go out with a woman that gives it up to you on the first date and it creates a baby.
But that's the subject that many people don't want to talk about. How many women got pregnant through unwanted pregnancies, and now we have children by men that didn't want the baby. Maybe the mama didn't want it either. See, we got to do a better job of protecting ourselves when we sexually engage one another, because we are producing unwanted pregnancies that are automatically born out of broken homes because a home was never planned to be together.
Okay. So my question is, and not dealing with the latter part of what he said, but the beginning part of what he said, right? So women shouldn't have sex on the first date, right? But men can't. Y'all said those women are necessary. So you're saying that the hoes are necessary for what? Y'all physical survival, because the woman that's not giving it to you, what, is leaving y'all, in the dumps? Like what it's like you want to wife a certain type of woman, but you'll slut out another type of woman. I mean, those women want to be slut out, obviously.
Yes.
However, you'll play with this one, wife this one, or whatever the situation may be. But my thing is, the switch for y'all, where does it turn on and off? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this one, is it because she's just willing to do it, so you're willing to do it too? It's just like, okay, if she's giving it to me, I'm gonna just take it. Or is it like, is there no, if she not setting no boundaries, y'all not setting no boundaries? I'm just trying to get into the.
I mean, there might be some profound answer to the way you phrased this particular question, but the end of the day, you said it right. If a woman's willing to have sex with a man, he's generally going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we men take sex from women any way you give it. I mean, the premise of why we're together is for me to try to have sex with you, or else what's the point? I'm saying, well, yeah, I'm talking about there's other points afterwards, but even if I want to marry, look, wait a minute, Precious. Even if I want to marry you, I still want to bang it out.
Right, but that should be okay. So that should be known. That should be something that we both know.
Right. So what's the argument?
Go ahead. Take it over.
Well, the argument obviously is, if she does it the first night, she's a slut.
Yeah.
So when she supposed to wait? The second night or
No. Let's not take it so literally, right?
See,
Because this
no. I got you.
When is she not a slut?
I got you.
Okay, good.
What's your standard as a woman?
Right. No, but I'm asking
No.
you.
This is the thing y'all responsible for. Remember what I said now.
Right.
What's your standard as a woman? 3 dates? 5 dates? 1 date?
This Friday.
It's a
coming up.
reward. This what y'all don't understand. You reward me by giving me your body. So you reward a man that you don't know from Adam, except what he showed you. Because again, like y'all say, the representative, right? Just like women have representatives, right? You're willing to reward me the most precious thing you have. Shout out to the real precious. The most precious thing you have. And you don't know me?
Well, not this question, but
right.
some other.
It's never anybody on the panel, right? But right. Right. What is your standard as I'm a man? This is what crazy y'all say. All men is dogs. All they want is they want is butt. The reason I hollered at you because I found you sexy. You know that, right?
Well, yeah.
What's the base word of sexy?
There you go.
Y'all delude yourselves. Y'all look for us y'all look for in us what y'all want. Right? How y'all supposed to operate. No, you were supposed to protect that box, girl. It's your box.
Right. And let's stay there, okay? Because I totally agree with that, right? I totally agree with that. But something I said in the last video, right? And maybe it doesn't apply, so I could be misspeaking when I say this, right? If that's the case, do you feel as a man you're now coming down to that woman standard, or is it because you're a man you could be on whatever standard?
No,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
I got you.
Are you
I'm not coming down
that low standard that she has, that, or is it I'm a man and I like to have sex and I need to get my rocks off? So if she's willing to give it, and we did go over this, but if she's willing to give it to me, I'm going to take it. Or I want to see where this goes with her. I am a man. I'm definitely sexually attracted to her, but I do want to not have it all be about sex.
But that's up to you, isn't it?
Right. But what I'm saying is,
wait. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Again, you're expecting for me to do your job.
That's right.
I will never take a woman's work away from her. Right? So, like I said, you are taking the risk. It is your job to convince me you're a wife, not my job to convince myself. That's how men end up messed up. Mm-hmm. Right? It is your job to convince me. Now, listen to what I'm saying. If you were able to get a man to wife you after y'all had sex on the first date, I ain't talking about like Champ when we got we got a kind of casual relationship and we see each other from time to time at work and we talk, That's not really a first date to me, right? That's like the culmination of activity. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I know you 6 months, right? And we've been chatting it up, flirting back and forth, but that's not, I'm talking about, I'm out. We see each other. Hey, Miss Lady, how you doing? I'd really like to take you out to eat. Whatever. Oh, we could just come up. Boom, boom. We back. That's a first date fuck. Right? Mm-hmm. You have set no expectations for me whatsoever. It doesn't matter. I'm not coming down to your level. I'm just coming. I'm sorry. Right? I'm just coming. You allowed me that. Okay. The privilege that you were supposed to keep for the special man in your life that you want to marry you. You allowed me. It's not personal for real. Right? It's just that as a man, if I'm smart, I gotta slot you a certain way. I have to. I have to, because if I lock you down, what I tell you all the time, sis, when we're in a relationship, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. It doesn't matter how it went. Once I said in my mind, this is the woman I want to be with, again, because you're not required to change. Didn't we just have this conversation?
We did. We did.
This is the dynamic that people play like it's even. The game has never been fair.
Mm-hmm.
It never will be. The expectations of men and women are two totally different things. The key and the lock go together, but they have totally different functions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nah, definitely. Go ahead, Joe. I'm about to say, no, I definitely agree. And so like that's why I definitely said, you know what I'm saying? So like situation, you in class, you see a shorty walk in class every day, you like, okay, you don't really talk to her, you know what I'm saying? But y'all see each other, y'all kind of be like, you know what I'm saying? What's up? How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all keep it moving. Then you finally take that step, and then it's like, all right, bet, something happened. You know what I'm saying? You might not look at it the same way as if you going out, you and your partners out at the cigar bar, y'all chilling, so a couple shorties walk in, and the next thing you know is boom, it's wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You gonna look at those situations totally different. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's all I was saying.
Okay.
I definitely wasn't comparing the two, but I know what you mean. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just that's just different. And I feel like the presentation is also different too. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she puts some requirements on me, I'm not talking about the 90-day rule, because we're adults at the end of the day, right?
Right.
Like she might be just feeling me that much. The connection might be there that much to where we didn't talk a couple days and we both like, damn, I really want to see you. No, I really want to see you. Like, let's do this. Like, let's go on this date. Let's see if the vibe is there in person. Now we get on the date, the vibe is there in person. You know what? You want a little nightcap? You know what I'm saying? It might just work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then that, you might not slot her as a jump. You feel me? You might not. But if you meet her and y'all talk and it's all about the whole conversation, straight just about, yeah, you was looking good in that red dress, girl. Oh yeah, for real. I seen you in the gray sweats. Like, we already just set the precedence right there. It's okay, cool. Yeah, you seen it. You seen the print. You feel me? I'm chilling. Like, right now she like, I didn't seen it. So yeah, like, but she interested, right? But the attraction is based off of sex right there. You know what I'm saying? But if she set the precedence to where, like, listen, I'm trying to get to know what's in here first, and then we can see if there's anything there physically, I'm cool with it.
Right.
And then I'm not going to I'm not gonna put you in the same light. Facts, Marcy. Listen,
Okay, Marcy.
Listen. If it's there, it's there. We can, but I'm just saying. So yes, if she wants to know what's here, then and not even just the wallet either, because we know that that's gonna come up. It's the same if I approach her with, yeah, shorty, I know you want the 100K. You know what I'm saying? I got the gift of gab. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even 6 feet, but but you here with me. So yeah, like, she gonna be like, well, shit, like, there's my security. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it just works both ways. You know what I'm saying?
I think
She ain't convinced.
no, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. I just, having these men's panels, I like to see how you guys think about things, your perspective, and even people are in the chat, because people go through these things in real life, and you may not think about this stuff, and then you see this conversation, and you're like, oh, this is how, especially for women, like men, I think y'all kind of all got the same. It's unanimous. Okay, it's unanimous. But for women, they struggle with, okay, I like him, but I do want to know him more. Some women don't struggle. None of Coach Ferg's women struggle. I mean, they just
Yeah.
on him. But I think that it's important for women to hear how men think, because a lot of women don't have their moms, a lot of women don't have their dads, they don't have someone that can give you the unadulterated, real truth about topics that they go through in an everyday basis, and they don't know who to talk to about it, or they don't know who to pick that knowledge from. And I like that y'all get on here every week and y'all are honest and you're real. And we see Champ, this is your first time here, right? This is your first time here. So even that, having new people on the panel, so you're not necessarily, if you watch this long enough, you probably know how our pain operate. You know how Uncle Rick operate. Like, y'all have been on here quite a few times. Even Joe has been on here a few times, but even the times that he's been on here, even Coach Ferg been up here a minute too. So you kind of get how certain people operate by the way that they give their, perspectives and the things that they believe in. So I think that these things are important because this is what happens in real relationships. These are the stages and phases that people go through. And I think it's important to hear you guys' perspective on things like that.
Can I add one? Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you.
Yeah,
Precious.
thank you. Go ahead, Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to just say something on this. First of all, Uncle Rick, he had 3 monologues. He dropped the mic on all 3 of them. Every single one of them, because he's right, and I feel like it's universal for men. Here's the common misconception: women could sleep with whoever they want. They could be as big of hoes as they want first date, no problem. But they're not going to get a high value man. A man's not going to respect her because of what Rick said. She's the prize, right? So if you go to a carnival, everyone could win a goldfish. But how do you get that turtle? You got to keep working for the turtle, right? So if you get the goldfish, what do you do to the goldfish? You discard the goldfish, probably dies after a week. Nobody wants the goldfish because everybody could get the goldfish. So that's the whole point. Women, yeah, if it's a first date, like he said, Bill Rick really hit everything on the head. But if I meet you, let me take you to dinner, I call you the night of, we go out and I sleep with you, yeah, that's a first date. But if we're talking and we're getting to know each other and there's inside jokes and chemistry, one thing leads to another and it happens. If you're both adults and you can handle it, fine. Now, if you like somebody and you really know this isn't how she is, then you give it a shot. When I was younger, I tried to give those things a shot. I tried to think, well, mature people do that. And you know what? I couldn't date any one of those girls that I slept with right away because you're programmed as a man. It shouldn't be that easy. It's not supposed to be that easy. If she did it with me, she did it with 50 others, It's just one of those things where women have to understand respect. I can't be with you if you don't respect yourself. It's not even about how many other men have been with you. If most of the time men are spitting game to try to get with you, right? And then they do. And then they're like, this girl was way too easy. Who else has done this? We don't even think you're smart enough to be the women in our life. And that's fucked up because we're the ones who are creating that issue. But that's what we're supposed to do. A man will sleep with anyone he finds attractive, no matter how he feels about it. You could be breaking into my house with a 45, tell me you're about to kill me. But if you want to fuck me first, I'm going to let you fuck me. And then you clip me. It's just how it is. So women have to do a better job of governing their fucking vaginas, man, because if they really want a good dude, I'm not saying you got to hold out for months. You know when the time is right. Like, we should know more about each other. Don't just give it up because a lot of women feel like that's the only asset they have. And that's a problem. Men see that. If you have assets, sex should be
But
shouldn't
Joe,
be.
Joe, right? If that's the only chip you got at the poker table, weren't you supposed to be more secure with it? Weren't you supposed to make the best decision at the best time when to go all in?
Of course, but they don't because at the end of the day, they're very insecure and they think this is what we want. No, we want way more. I think women are guided incorrectly, like Precious said. I think They want to have sex, great. Pick one dude and try to make it work. Everyone's so fast to run away and end shit, and they want to be like men. Yo, women are never gonna be like men, ever, ever, ever,
Right.
ever, ever.
And
It just is what it is, and everyone needs to kind of. I hate to use this phrase, but play your position.
Right.
You know, it needs to be that, and it's not. But women want to go out there and start fucking everybody. Go ahead, but you're only gonna get left with the simps and the punks and the bitches and the guys that are gonna treat you like shit.
you know,
And,
go ahead, John. I mean, if you're still going.
no, I'm done, Payne. I'm done, bro. Thank
You
you.
know, the only thing I wanted to add, I did a video called "The Promiscuity of Female Promiscuity Shapes the Sexual Marketplace, or Lack thereof," and I did a comparison between just the energy formula, the formula E equals mc squared, where energy is equal to mass times the speed of light times c squared, the speed of light squared. So I said the sexual energy in the marketplace is equal to the amount of female promiscuity times the constant need for sex by man. That constant's the same. It doesn't change. The only thing that changed is how promiscuous the women are. And so the more promiscuous they are, times the constant need for sex for men, shapes how chaotic the marketplace is. If you find places where women are more chaste, men are willing to do more to get what they want. And then the women who just want to have sex are easily separated from the ones who want marriage and everything else. But the sexual balance in those areas is a little bit more tame. In the West, it's just completely out of control because women have set the market where they want it. Right. So even the good girls are mad at the bad girls because you've devalued my box. I can't even get the leverage I want out of it because so many women are giving that shit away. You know, so I mean, it's a whole nother thing, but it's a theory of relativity. That's what I was talking about. But
Yeah,
it's a correlation to that. So I believe I'm gonna just end there. I believe
no, my bad.
that the women shape the sexual marketplace. Men just play in it. Go ahead, Joe.
No, and I'd be more inclined to give a woman to hang out with women more if she slept with me and owned it. Like, yeah, so what? I'm a grown up, you know. You're the only one I'm sleeping with right now. I'd respect her more just for being honest like that than pretending they never did this before. You're the first. You're God's gift to women and all this bullshit because you know that's cap. So what's the point? It's just own it. If you're gonna be that way, own it. Respect yourself, but own it. You want to be a little promiscuous? Fine, own it. We're all adults. I get it. But there's some of them just make you feel bad afterwards for doing it and not wanting to be with them. You know, and it's like it's not even worth it at times.
Mhm.
You're better off just avoiding it. We have so much responsibility. Women do not understand how much responsibility we have to being the how do I say this? It's almost like we got to make the decisions for you in order to protect you. Right, Rick? Yo, you hit the nail. I want to take you everywhere with me, Rick, and I have an argument with somebody. I'm like, yo, just see Rick because I don't have it in me. It's just one of those things, and men don't always want to do that. Like, we get it. We want to protect you if you're about to make a mistake, or we want to protect you from danger and fear, and we want to, put food on the table and do what men are supposed to do. But we can't be your fathers at the same time and tell you what decisions you're making wrong and what you should or should not. Because we're men. You're gonna throw it at us. We're gonna take it. I just think there's a big misconception on women's role and how they should behave. And I hate saying it like that because I know how it comes off, but it's true, man. A man will never be with a woman he doesn't respect. At the end of the day, can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You ever hear that? Still facts till this day.
And
So
and the point I'm making is that again, you want us, women want us to protect us from themselves. How
Right.
can I protect you from you? I could take care of everything else out in the world, but how can I protect you from you? Especially when you don't want to listen. Ima- and when we talk about this stuff of responsibility being 50-50, right? Just imagine. Imagine this, right? Let's say it's this girl. She's online. She on Instagram, right? And a dude jump in her inbox and say, I want to send you $1,000. What's your cash app? How many people would tell that girl no? He ain't asking for nothing. He's saying, I want to send you $1,000. Y'all gonna be like, spend that money, girl. Spend that dough. He don't know you like that. He saw you on Instagram the first day, baby. You know him? No, I don't know him. He just said, you said, shoot me his catch.
Sounds good. There's a catch. There's a catch.
Yo, Rick is about to hit you. I know where he's going. He's 100% right. Go ahead, Rick. Sorry, man. I'm excited. 100% right.
Because this is the world that goes on, right? You want to talk to me, cash at me, right? Is it though?
Oh man, what generation is that? The new generation or is that the old generation? Like, if you want to talk to me, cash at me, what?
Yes. Am I making this up or not?
I know you're not making it up.
Okay. So let's stay there. Right? Let's stay there. How many of y'all would tell that girl, don't take the money?
Me? Don't take that money.
How many of y'all will tell that girl, don't take? You would tell, if that was your daughter, you would tell him that man a goddamn fool. That's what he is. Did he send you the money? Sure did, $1,000. Damn. Hey, that's a sucker right there.
And ain't nobody gonna say send it back.
Ain't nobody gonna say nothing, my boy.
Someone tried to send me I think it was like a $50 cash app, but they sent $500, right? And they were like, oh, can you send it back? Because I didn't mean to send you that much. I'm like, $500? And they were like, can you send it back? I didn't mean to send you $500. I meant to send you 50, and the rest I meant to send to my sister. I sent it back. But you know how many women would not have sent that money back?
Mm-hmm.
You know how many women would have been like, you lost.
Right.
Would have disconnected and blocked and I don't even know this person. I think they just watch me on YouTube and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna send it back. But you know how many women would have not sent that money back?
The majority.
99.999.
And it is not your job as a woman to be responsible for my wallet, is it?
I love Rick. I'm so excited for this. I'm waiting for the fucking.
Is it?
Go ahead, get him, Rick. I know where you're going. I love this.
The first thing a woman, Coach First, if you did something that a woman didn't ask you to do, and you do it, and you bring it up, what's the first thing she gonna tell you?
I didn't tell you to do that. What you talking about? I didn't tell you. You did that on your own.
I ain't even asked you for the $50.
You a man, ain't you, Champ Talk?
Big bag.
How can I hope? That's why when y'all say these things, when y'all had these conversations and we had these, hey, she took him for divorce. What fellas be like, huh? It's messed up, right? Huh? That's how y'all supposed to act with y'all pussy.
Right.
That's how y'all supposed to act with y'all pussy. It's your responsibility. But y'all put it off on us.
It's a bad place to put
it. Facts.
Ain't like, cause we gonna beat it down every time.
We gonna wear that motherfucker out.
Facts. And Marcy said, money ain't everything, neither is sex. But shit, when she hit you for that $40, you know that. Listen, that's the going price. Hey,
40 in the front, 60 in the back.
What like I said, it's crazy how it never applies to anybody. Y'all know that, right? It never applies to anyone. This is stuff we see out in the public every day. You know people that did. Man, I got that nigga for 100. It wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? He left his wallet sitting around me.
I have conscious. I couldn't. I just. I have a conscious.
Hey Rick, not even that, dog. You know how it is, but listen, you see, back in our day, I say that because
Nigga, you
I'm a
19.
I'm a 40-year-old man. I know, I'm just saying though, but it was $20. Can I brought $20 to payday? That's what it was back in the day. I'm gonna come get it, and you knew what that meant. I'm gonna come. Now it's 40. Can I borrow 40 to payday? She gonna pick up the 40. Hey, hold on, hold on, real quick. Yeah, she see the print.
Here we go with the print again.
So you know what I'm talking about, Morris.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. This $40. If I don't get my if I don't get my $40 back, I at least had a. You feel me? Come on now. I'm just saying. We all been there. We
I'm
all
just
know.
saying, sis, we got to stop lying about the way these things work. We're all here to do what we all here to do, right? The biggest problem, like I said, the biggest problems that's going on right now, and it's always going to be a problem, is that people don't want to do their goddamn job. It is not my job to protect your chastity. That is not my job. It is not my job, right? Now, if you want to put me in a good man category for thinking of you, right, and being upstanding, but what do good men get nowadays? What's a good man? Y'all tell me a good man is fluid depending on the nigga you like. Somebody make this make sense to me. Somebody's lying. I've been telling y'all forever, y'all liars. All niggas do is lie. All you Negroes do is lie. That's why we can't get nowhere, because you don't know where it's the man fault, it's the woman fault. If it's everybody's fault, how it get fixed? If it's everybody's fault. The black man is the worst of the men. He's downtrodden. He doesn't own any industries of his own. Blah 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 blah. Whoop de whoop whoop. But it's our fault that the kids are bad and the families are fucked up. Y'all recognize. I'm sorry. Y'all recognize where we at in the hierarchy of things, but can't recognize where y'all at in it.
I'm laughing because you just quieted everybody. You literally shut everything down because you're 100% right and nobody's got a response. You're 100% right, Rick. 150% right. This should be on every fucking advertisement, every dating site, and every condom company, every bottle of alcohol. Just have Rick run off a 20-minute monologue and then change everyone's perspective. Because
I'm just
straight facts.
I'm tired of people lying, Joe. Like
I know. I hear you.
We'll never get anywhere until we admit who's fucking up. In the 60s and 70s, everybody understood that the black men had to become better. You had to be more competitive. You had to get up into these places where the glass ceiling was supposedly hold you back. Get your education. By the time you're 18, son, you're either going to be in a gang, doing drugs, or in jail. The rhetoric that our parents, well, you know what? We just want you to be able to have a good job and, live the American dream. Black men do that every day. I don't know how many years, but all of us damn near going to a job we don't fucking like to pay bills. Every man, damn near every black man I know got his own little corner of the world. But now that's not good enough for our women because y'all feel elevated by a standard that y'all know that we were never given the opportunity to meet. But y'all, like I said, what's a high value man in the black community?
Did you hear what I said?
Let's talk about this. What is a high value man in the black community? Somebody answer that question for me.
Rhetoric that's spewed on the internet or the real?
In real life. In real life.
I believe a man's character definitely contributes to him being high value or not. I don't think it's necessarily money. Everybody can make money. Anybody can make money. But I truly think it's a man's character and how he treats himself, how he treats those around him, his family, his woman. I think it boils down to his character. I don't care about 6 feet. I don't care about 6'8". inches. I don't care about all the sixes and things of that nature.
Right. And let's take it away from the Kevin Samuel bullshit, because he was talking about a certain demographic that he felt he belonged to.
That's right.
The high value man in the black community are the scammers, the rappers, the entertainers. Because if you're a stepdad now, you're a simp. The man that you value is the guy who left you with children.
Did you hear what I said?
I love that.
So the man that's willing to pick up the pieces and help you fix your fuck up is less valuable than the man who helped you make the mistake. Listen to what I'm saying, and y'all tell me when I lie. This is a woman's problem, Precious. Men ain't got shit to do with it. Women's value system is skewed and fucked up. And I think it's over with. Me personally, like I told y'all before, it's gonna take about 30 years for this shit to go any halfway to where it's supposed to be. The wife school, if the men aren't angels, why are you having children with them?
Did you hear what I said?
Because you don't want to address your nature and how you like fucking and catching dick, right? And when you in a relationship, right, you can't conform to that man, because no matter what, that man's supposed to be the leader, but you can't follow him. You followed him to the bedroom, didn't you?
Did you hear what I said?
You followed him when he had your legs up in the air, didn't you?
Did you hear what I said?
When he told you get on your motherfucking knees, you followed, didn't you?
Did you hear what I said?
Because that's where you at. That's why you at. That's why you where you at right now. Facts. You'll follow an idiot to fuck him, but won't follow him to raise his children. To tell the truth, you should take that fucking L until your kids turn 21, and then you can leave like the rest of them do. That's what you should, because that's what y'all tell the men to do. Stick it out. Be above her. Don't let your baby mama push you away from your kids. Ain't that right, Coach Ferg?
Did you hear what I said?
Y'all tell me when I lie.
The link is open. If anyone would like to join the panel, you're more than welcome. Okay.
Come and lose this argument, because you're gonna lose.
Well, it's not about necessarily winning or losing.
It's about right or wrong.
It's right, but if there are wrongs that we need to make right, then are we winning or losing?
Doesn't matter to me. I'm a man. I handle mine. Where your life at? I just bought my girl a brand new car. Happy birthday, boo boo. What's popping?
Congratulations. But we do want to be able to speak to those who, you know what I mean, that need that different perspective. You know what I mean? I like y'all because y'all give different perspectives, your own personality, and things of that nature. But within fixing the problem, we don't want to create more problems. So I appreciate y'all. All right, so we're going switch gears about men expressing hurt. Okay.
Okay.
I had posted this video, and I wanted to get you guys, of course, the men's panel, because this man is speaking about men, and I want to see if there's a unanimous perspective on this, or if not, I feel like there is, but we're gonna get deeper into the conversation. Where are we at here? Here we go.
Hurt different than men. Just because you express it different. If a man tell you, hey babe, I don't like that, don't do that, that means he's hurt about that. He don't like that. I expressed that to you so you don't do it, but I'm hurting. A woman be like, that wasn't that bad because I didn't show those emotions. You can't say because you're crying snot and I'm being quiet that I'm not as hurt. You don't know that you hurt me the same way I hurt you because I didn't show those emotions.
All right, short video, short and sweet. All right, so he says you don't know or you don't know how much I hurt because I don't show the emotions that you show, right? And so it is known that men don't show their emotions, or don't express, excuse me, they don't express their emotions like women express their emotions. So, men on the panel, most times, how do men express hurt? Most times, how do men really express hurt?
I would say they don't. Or if they do, I would say if they super emotional, then that hurt is gonna come out, and you're gonna need new furniture. You're gonna need a new door. Cause he gonna punch you, that mother gonna get punched. Because a lot of times what happens is you can be hurt, and and I'm not blaming this on women, but what I will say is that sometimes you could tell your woman, yo, I feel like this, and this is kind of bothering me right now. And she will flip that shit right back on you. You feel like that because you made me feel like this, and this. So now every time I come to you, just letting you know that, hey, like I'm feeling a little way. It has to come back to me or something I did. So what we do, like a lot of times, men will just bottle that shit up. You know what is like? It's not gonna matter because soon as I say something, I done something. So I'm just gonna chill. So then now the blow up happens. Oh, you've been holding that shit in for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Boom, like flip over a table, some stupid shit. Here go a chair. Like, now you gotta fucking patch your wall. Cause you know what I'm saying? A lot of time I'm just being real. Like a lot of times when you have those conversations, it just comes right back to you. It would be cool to be able to say, hey, yo, babe, like this is what I'm feeling right now. And even if say something happened in the past, that's not like that doesn't have to come to the forefront right now, that we can just talk about what's going on right now in the present, and we can address that issue, and we can move on, and we can continue to move forward like we were going to do, or like you said we were going to do in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And I think that would make it a lot easier for a man to just come to you and be vulnerable, like like women ask. Like, let's have those real conversations. I think if you're checking in and doing those monthly check-ins, those 3-week check-ins with your girl, your woman, your man, your boo, your sweet lady, whatever, then that can stop a lot of it. You will have that you will be able to have that communication to where you guys have that open form of communication to where I can feel okay. You know what, babe? Like today, I'm really not feeling it. Work didn't have me down. I'm not feeling good. I'm not in the right mental space. And she like, you know what, baby? I got you. Whatever you need tonight, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come home, it's already been a hard day. I come home and I say, baby, damn, boss was on my ass. I don't really, I'm not feeling right. I'm not. Well, remember when you cheated 2 years ago? Oh, damn. Remember when you like Big Booty Becky picture him? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I just think that would help like a lot. Cause I just think that a lot of times that men, we just hold our hurt in. And then just the second part of that is sometimes it's used against you. You express yourself, yo, man, like you can be honest. Yo, that's what you're supposed to be with that person. Yo, I'm just trying to be honest. Yo, man, when I was growing up, I know that I know I got to get over it. My mom's wasn't, you feel me? My dad wasn't. This is just, I have abandonment issues, right? And then as soon as y'all get into an argument, that's why your mama left you. Like, damn. Like, you supposed to be the person that I can confide in. You supposed to be the person that I trust, I love, right? But soon as you get mad, my daddy wasn't shit, my mama wasn't shit. So I'd rather just hold that shit in now. Like I don't have nothing to say. What's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm chilling. You know, I mean, I landed there, man.
Okay, I appreciate that. Arcane, you look like you ain't have no answers for this one.
I don't. I don't. I really don't. From the standpoint, I can't remember the last time I was hurt where I had to do something so profound. You know, if we're just talking about expression emotions and sharing that with your wife, I'm guarded with that. I am. She don't need to know everything I'm feeling, and I like it that way. Because especially if there's vulnerabilities, I mean, I think it's a mistake for men to be vulnerable in front of their wives too much. I mean, just enough to know that you're human if she does something wrong. But all that whimpery shit and all that kind of stuff, I ain't having it. You know, one of the things that I tell guys, I'm not going to be long, is if you show too much emotions with your wife, whether she loves you, she gives you a pass for that. But when shit comes up, and she know you were just boo-hoo whining and crying the night before, she might not confide in you because she doesn't want to add on to your hurt. You know, so that's why I'm saying we need to be guarded in what we show. People disagree with me, but unless I need, here's my thing: if I need my wife to help me through an issue in our relationship, it's got to be a big freaking issue that I can't handle myself. And part of my job is to minimize those kind of things in our relationship. So, you know, I take pride in that she don't have to worry about a lot of shit. You know, I mean, if she does have to know, she has to know. But for the most part, you know, I mean, it's not like I hold her out. She knows what's going on. But man, with me, she don't need to know everything. I'm not the kind of guy who comes home from work and says, "Oh, my boss is a prick. I don't know what to do." Yeah, no. This shit ain't happening. The only anything she knew about my job was when I got a promotion.
You gonna know when the money coming in, but other than that,
that's it. Anyway, so that's it. I mean, I don't know if that's on topic or not. I just, and it wasn't just with my wife. I don't think I was ever that way. Let me see, with any ladies, really. I mean, all that emotional shit got kind of drummed out of me when I was 19. When my frat brother came home and see me crying over a girl, right? And oh man, Payne, you know, listen, man, you know, get your shit together, blah, blah, blah. And that night when all the rest of the frat brothers was home, he just unloaded every shit in front of him. Yeah, I came over, Payne was crying, blah, 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 over a chick. And he changed the course of my life. You know, so I'm kind of hard in that way. I'm not a hard dude, but I don't just, you know, I'm not showing no emotions and shit like that. You know, you steal your heart and that's it. You know, but I'm a teddy bear kind of guy. So that's it. I'm down. I'm done. You know, somebody take the mic, you know.
Hey, Coach Bert.
I mean, you know, one of the biggest, well, I'll say that one of the greatest people that ever taught me about showing emotion was my father. He was really good at that because he always remained calm in the worst situation. I remember one time, real quick story. I think it was our stove caught on fire. Well, my father was cooking. That motherfucker couldn't cook. The stove caught on fire. And he came outside when the fire department pulled up. He came outside eating a plate of food like, what's going on? What y'all doing? I'm like, nigga, the house is smoking on fire. So, and I was about 13 or 14. I'm like, how in the hell he's so calm? My mother ranted, my sisters ranted, and I saw him. All of my fear and anxiety just went away. And every day of my life, I've always thought about No woman could get me rattled to a point where I'm ready to hit a wall and all of that shit. I give you no emotion. I don't go off like that. Um, and working with people who were at a disadvantage allowed me to always stay cool. In their midst of their chaos, I've always was able to keep a level head. When shit go down, and if I'm around, I'm always able to think quickly on my feet and move accordingly. And when it came to the women, I never got so emotional where I'm just going to be yelling and scream. If I got to yell and scream at anybody, especially an adult, that'll probably be the last time we ever have conversation, unless I'm helping you. But even then, I'm giving you the expectations. But and I've seen it, and I've seen it even in the chat. I've always asked people to write when they're angry. When you angry, write it out. Write out your anger. How you feeling? What emotions do you feel? You know what I'm saying? Because then you can always go back and reflect on it. And then at some point, you have to understand that if you can't control it, there's no reason to really get that emotional about it. I'm not going to get all emotional about a woman that's not my wife. About children that are not mine. I'm going to give you the best information based off what the resources are and move accordingly. I'm not going to get mad if you don't do it or whatever. Last thing, I used to always tell my clients, okay, I can give you two sets of information. I can give you information as a father and I can give you information as an uncle. Which one do you want? Most of the time, they would always choose an uncle. So here it is. Whatever I tell you, you do that shit. And if you don't, I don't give a F about it, whether you do it or not. I'm giving it to you. It's not going to affect me. As a father, it's a little bit different. You have no choice but to do what I say. I'm not negotiating that. I'm not going to be going back and forth with especially a teenager, somebody 10 years younger than me. I ain't going to get all worked up because you choose to do something different. Get to my age first and tell me what it's like. But at the same time, I'm not discounting what their experiences are because we all have a story. Nobody's story is greater than mine, nor is mine greater than anybody else's. We all have a fucking story. So, your emotions, it's a different time today. People get caught up in their emotions and they move off how they feel. I don't give a fuck how people feel. And that means nothing outside of the house that you live in. Your feelings are yours. But at the same time, with your feelings, are you going to move in the righteous path? Are you going to move in that capacity? Are you going to make sure that you're moving to do the right thing, not just, oh, I'm caught up in my feelings and black out? I've seen people black out. The fuck? And it gets worse. So I don't know. I think for any man, just something, if it's something you need to work on, I would advise you to definitely work on it because as we see with Mike Tyson, one of the most prolific knockout artists of our time, everybody has their day. So you just have to be careful on how you do, especially today, because everybody's moving on feelings. I feel. You give a damn how you feel. But I'm gonna respect you. But at the same time, if you're moving on feelings, then I can't even really barter with you and do business with you because as soon as you get upset, you go throw shit back in my face, secrets and shit. You going up, then you go come back tomorrow like everything is cool. No, it ain't. So I don't get it. So
Okay.
Can I say something real quick? Because I'm gonna have to go back to work in 5 minutes, and I won't be able to talk, but I could listen. But I just want to answer what Precious said. How do men respond to like that? Truth is, we seldom do. It's hard, at least in my experience. I never used to do that until it bottled up, and then I would erupt or explode. And my eruption and explosion was usually because I expected her to know better. Now I'm defending women here because I said the exact opposite when it came to sex, right? I have to feel like I got to protect her. She shouldn't have to protect me. I should do a better job of actually saying you're hurting me. This is bothering me. This is bothering me. In the past, I've been worried to address that because I might not get the outcome I want or the response I want, which leads me back to what I said straight up in the beginning. I got to take better action into doing that. And if I don't get what I want, she doesn't show the respect I feel I deserve or I need, then I got to identify that as a red flag and disconnect. So many people trying to make relationships work that they shouldn't be together in the first place, you know? And they do that constantly. So a lot of men feel like, at least for me, we can never show emotion, right? We can't. God forbid I let her know that this is bothering me. I was just hoping she would do the things that she wouldn't do the things that would bother her if I did them, basically, you know? And so I needed to do a better job of not ignoring that. Because I understand, Coach, you said emotions, and we have emotions. They're valid most of the time. We just got to do a better job of not letting our emotions dictate our actions and decisions. You know, oh, my bad. Emotions fade. Feelings aren't facts, you know, everything passes. But if I'm constantly feeling this way because of that one person, then I got to make a decision to disconnect, you know? And I feel like a lot of people need to do that rather than expecting the person to change. Clearly, they're not. This is who they are. Don't ignore that. And, you know, do something for yourself, basically. That's how I chose to look at it because these were my issues back in the day as well, you know? But that's all I got, guys. I'm going to listen, but now I got to actually do some work. So I'm just going to listen. But I'd like to hear what Uncle Ricky got. Ricky, go get him, Rick.
All right.
Get him, Rick.
One thing I wanted to add, one thing is just to be clear for my when I was going, not being emotional with my wife is one thing, but I don't hesitate to correct if I need to, but I do it unemotionally, you know. So I don't want to get that mixed up, you know. Sometimes, you know, nobody likes to be corrected, you know. So and I don't have to do it that much, but it's little things. You know, little things that, you know, that I don't let fester. I mean, I'm not even talking about big issues. Sometimes you just got to stop the little things because before they become big things. And in doing that, I had to learn how I had to talk to my wife. Like when I talk to her about, especially when we get in this back and forth, Champ said this, that they like to turn shit back on you. I don't know how to do that. I said, listen, you might have a legitimate issue, but we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about what I want. We can come back to your issue later. We need to fix this one right now. Because women, for some reason, like to do that shit all the time. You know, so I think it's a woman thing. So that's you know, so those things is I know how to do those little quick things. Get back to my main point. I know when I talk to her, I can't curse. Now, you know, I don't curse her. I'm talking about I can't use curse words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the beginning I used to, and then I wasn't getting through. But once I stopped cursing when I talked to her, and I wasn't that bad, you know, she didn't have nowhere to go but address the situation. And I tell you, I'm in here. One time she got mad at me, right? Because she was just waiting for me to curse so she could shut down. I could see it come over. She said, you're not gonna curse, are you? I said, no. No, you ain't getting away from this one. I mean, you know, it's a little thing, but I grew in that instance,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I don't curse. My wife doesn't curse. You know, I try to honor that kind of thing as best I can. But anyway, so that's it. So I didn't want to get that mixed up, you know. So I'm not afraid to confront shit when I have to.
Okay. So my question is, when you are hurt, and Joe kind of went into this a little bit, but when you are hurt, and some of you have answered it, but just going to zero in on it a little bit more. When you are hurt, do you say, you hurt me? Is that something? Because, you know, we would like to think we have great conversations and that we're getting problems resolved and that we're using all the right words, but we know in reality that's not always what happens, right? And like he said in the video, just because I didn't express it the way that you wanted me to doesn't mean that I wasn't hurt. But my thing is, how are you necessarily expressing it? Champ, I think you were saying, what you did, is bothering me. But, and I'm not excusing any behavior on a woman's part, but is something bothering you and something hurting you? This, do they weigh the same, or do you hold it at the same magnitude? Or when you say something is bothering you, is that automatically for a woman to register that I'm hurting him or that hurt him, or you just got something on your mind? You are bothered by this and you would, want me to change my behavior. Is it for you? Are you not going to say that you're hurt because you don't want to take it to a certain level? You don't want her to throw it in your face. You don't want to use that word because it is an emotion word. Is it that you're not saying that taboo word and you're just saying, hey, I'm not feeling that, or that's bothering me, and you're not coming out and being real and saying, no, you hurt me? Is it that? Do you guys even use that type of verbiage of you hurt me? Because you don't have to say you hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to say that. That's probably something a woman would say, right? I would fathom that a woman would say you hurt my feelings way quicker than a man would. So are you even making it known, plain as day, that she hurts you?
Yeah, I believe you have to let her know.
Okay.
Like now, like you said, it's not gonna be like, yo, you hurt my feelings, and now like no. But I believe that words matter.
Mhm.
So if you gonna say, like there are times where, it may be something that has, that she kind of said a couple times, and it just rubbed me the wrong way, rub you the wrong way. You like, okay. And then she say, you like, yo, I ain't feeling that. You know what I'm saying? But if it gets to the point to where you going low, you know what I'm saying, shorty, like I gotta let you know right now you bugging. You saying some hurtful, or whatever the case may be, whatever you done that crossed the line. Because I feel like you have to let those things be known. You just got to do it in a way to where she is going to understand that these things are hurting you, they're bothering you, they making you feel a certain type of way. Because once I tell you, now it's up to you what you do going forward.
Right.
Because I already let you know. So if it continued, that just goes to show that you got no respect for me, And if that's the case, then we gotta go our separate ways. Especially if I'm letting you know, all right, listen, you said this once. Oh, all right, you said it. I'm that right. That's hitting in the spot. You know what I'm saying? Pause. That's hitting in the spot where you feel me. And then if that's something that continues, that just goes to show that that's a learned behavior. That's where you're gonna go every time we get into a situation, and that's something that I can't rock with.
Okay. So you're making it known. Like that is something that has to be known. What you're saying is hurtful, you hurt me, things of that nature. Okay. Um, because I think those things, while you may not express it like a woman, I do think that men need to make it clear, because a lot of times um your hurt comes across in destruction, and that might actually scare a woman. You know what I mean? That destruction, that masculine is coming out. Like Champ said, we might need to buy some new furniture. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it may get to that point, and it shouldn't get to that point, but it does. There needs to be clear communication on that. And I think that sometimes when a woman hurts your feelings, she may not necessarily know that she hurt your feelings just because of how, laid back you might always be, or you may not address the situation head on, or it may take you a while to actually say what you got to say to this woman, and now time has gone by and she may have forgotten about it, but you're still lingering on it, and vice versa. But we're talking about a man, not expressing his feelings the same way as a woman, and ideally so, right? Every man is not going to express their feelings like a woman. There are some men who are a little bit more emotional than other men, and so, they would like to have those conversations, and it would be, hey, babe, let's have dinner tonight, because there's some things I want to discuss with you. I want to get on the same page with you. There are men who are very good at doing that. And then there are men that is head down, going to work, handling my responsibilities, taking care of the kids, doing what I need to do, and I'm still showing up for you. But in that instant, in my opinion, you're not necessarily showing up for yourself. And while being in a relationship is about being selfless, I think that some men do need to be a little bit more selfish when it comes to how they're feeling in a relationship. Because let's face it, women will leave the relationship while a man will be in the relationship, but not quite, at a level. And there's highs and lows, and I don't necessarily believe in happy life, happy wife. I believe in happy spouse, happy house. And if you're going to live in that house as a spouse, you should be happy just like your wife is happy. But those bridges are only crossed when you're able to actually have those conversations and make it known to her, and she don't have to do no guessing work. She don't have to, and I when you're becoming one, though, you should know what agitates and what rubs your person in a crazy way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just know who and what you could do. Like, I don't know, if you're paying attention, if you're really into this person, you know what I mean? You know what is going to take them to a certain place. And so, no, we shouldn't be agitators of confusion and hurt and mistreatment. That shouldn't be the case. I also don't think that women should press their buttons to see what a man would do, because men can kill with their hands. I ain't got time to be, so I think that women can be more mindful, but I think that, although men don't talk about their emotions and things like that, you should be more forthcoming with it. Now, the outcome of you being forthcoming shouldn't be something that's thrown in your face and things of that nature. But I think that you could be forthcoming without being, like our pain was saying, like my wife don't know all of my emotions and everything that I go through. I think that you could still be forthcoming without, spilling everything. Because I think that men do keep certain things close to the heart, because y'all are men. You wake up, you go to work, you're the man, you're number one, right? So there are certain things that you are going to contain, and maintain, to be the leader of a household. That's a huge responsibility. So I think that men should be more forthcoming. I always say this. Oh, I got a surprise for y'all. I always say this, that men should, men and women, not just men, everyone should expand their vocabulary. You should expand your vocabulary. And that includes reading, that includes research, that includes it includes all of those things. Because when you're dealing with a person, it can be complex, getting to know yourself and knowing yourself in this person, and vice versa. So I think that, I think expanding your vocabulary is huge, not only for you and the rooms that you walk in, but the rooms that you walk in with your spouse, because you should be at a point where there's nothing that y'all can't talk about, because y'all have the vocabulary for it. I think a lot of people don't talk about things because they just don't have the vocabulary for it. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, but that just means broaden your vocabulary, broaden the things that you watch, broaden the things that you read. Spend less time scrolling and more time learning and absorbing literature that is going to help you in your situation, and not you being complacent where you are and asking yourself, why am I not getting anywhere? Well, maybe sometimes you have to broaden your vocabulary. And like I said, to me, that takes reading, writing, maybe movies, maybe, things like that. Because you have to find a way to communicate if you're going to spend the rest of your life with somebody. Like we can't keep having these rudimentary, conversations, or not having them at all because we don't have the vocabulary for them. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. A lot of people have an issue with communicating face to face. Maybe you need to start back to back. You need to incorporate certain things that make you feel comfortable speaking to that person. And I think that should be that's something that both of you are open on, and being patient with each other, communication styles. That's very, very, very important. Because the way you communicate and the way that they communicate is different. The way you receive information, the way they receive information is different. And so in order to become one, you do have to try different things until you get to a sweet spot. All right. So I'm going to show 2 more videos. They're related. However, in my opinion, it's almost like the before and after. I saw this video scrolling on social media, and then something was like, but you've seen another video. And so there had to be something that happened in the middle, in between this video and this video. So I'm gonna play the video, the first one, but then I'm gonna play the second one, and then we can talk about it. Okay, guys? So let's keep your listening ears open.
I will say this about monogamy. This is why I enjoy monogamy.
Okay.
I'm nasty.
Clearly.
I like to lick and kiss, and I'm the type of guy that, Kay, come up here. Sit up here. You can't do that with everybody.
But do you feel like that's why y'all's relationship and y'all marriage have lasted so long? Because y'all keep it spicy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to be the sexual being that I am because my wife embraces it. I don't come home and have to deal with see my cameraman? That's my boy Matt. He will tell you around 9:30, right? No matter how many people we got in the house. Kadeen is gonna go put on some red shorts. They say co-ed on the back. It's gonna be a crop top. Matt will be the one to say, yo.
Time to wrap this shit up.
Because she knows what her husband needs.
That is freaky time.
She knows. And that's a responsibility. As a man, my responsibility is provide and make sure that I give everything I have sexually to my wife. My wife understands that it's my obligation to make sure my husband's good.
Like, I love hearing that perspective from couples because it makes you actually look forward to being married.
All right, so that sounds all lovey-dovey, and his wife is sitting all the way up here and all of that, right? But I have been following Deval and Kadeen for a very long time. They're from New York. They have a podcast. They have a beautiful family. They're married. Their story was I believe he was playing pro ball, and then he got hurt. And so, the money was coming in. I don't think it necessarily was coming in like it used to, but he sat the bench. She wrote it out with them. Now they have this beautiful family, and, they doing it up. He got a couple of shows. I think it's on BET Plus. The sister, I think he's in a couple of shows. And she's, she got some things going on herself. But I remember seeing something with them, and they had a conversation about the issues that they did have in their marriage when it came to sex and the expectations before and after marriage. So I'm going to play this for y'all, and then we'll get into it.
But a lot of women do complain, oh, my husband's always on me. Why is he always on me? Mm-hmm. If sex is going to be a chore for you that you don't really want to do, why do women constantly push monogamy on men? If you know that you don't want to have to deal with him all the time just wanting you, why do you push monogamy on men?
Well, who's to say I pushed anything on anybody?
Well, we know that you pushed monogamy on me.
I pushed monogamy. I forced you to get married to me?
Time out. I didn't say you forced me to get married, but did you not say to me that you wanted to be engaged and you wanted to be married before you lived with me? You didn't say that?
I want $1 billion. That don't mean I'm going to get it. I can want something, but not...
You right now you're dodging the question.
Nobody pressed you to do it. Yes, is that something I wanted? Yes, it was. But
you didn't press me. Are you gonna lie now to the people because we're talking about sex?
Deval,
you're gonna lie now to the people?
Deval, Knowing
Kadeen,
a
you didn't want
strong-
monogamy?
Of course I did.
So then why are you avoiding the question?
That's not avoiding the question. I'm saying, does that mean because I want it and I requested that you were going to deliver it? Like, nobody pressed you for that.
Time out. You just said you wanted it and requested it. Do you not hear yourself?
I can make a request. Is the request going to be granted?
Am I
That's
not?
up to
am
you,
I?
bro.
Am I not granting you monogamy?
You are granting it to
So-
me. Also, let me finish. Also, I don't feel like I was adequately prepared for marriage. And I've said that before, because if I knew that marriage and monogamy was going to involve me trying to meet you where you were at sexually for years to come, then I probably would have reevaluated it if I wanted to be monogamous anyway.
Now let's go back to what you asked me. You said to me you never pressured me to get married. In 2007, we were living together, right? You said you no longer wanted to live with me and shack up with me because you wanted to be my wife, not my girlfriend.
Right, because I wanted to know where the
That don't
relationship
sound like
was going.
pressure to you?
It sounds like me voicing where I see my life going. It sounds like me saying, this is what I would like. You can decide to meet me there. If not, we can reevaluate what exactly we're doing.
Okay. Additionally,
Would I call it pressure per se? Not necessarily pressure.
It is pressure. But you don't want to say it's pressure. What about being
You
engaged?
might have felt pressure.
What about
There was
being
no
engaged?
pressure behind it.
I said, we don't got to rush to get married. You said, I don't want to be engaged longer than a year. Is that not pressure?
That's me voicing my opinion about it.
Sounds like pressure to me. So you say you want to be engaged, I get engaged. You say you want to be married within a year. We do that. We get married, then you make it seem like sex is a chore to your husband. Once again, I ask the question, why do women who push forth monogamy on the man they're dating then get overwhelmed when that man who tries to provide that monogamy to you? Why do you get upset when we're trying to be what you want us to be? You don't want me to be with no one else, right? Right? I'm asking. This is a serious
Right,
question.
yes, absolutely.
You don't want me to be with no one else.
Absolutely.
So if I decide that all this testosterone I have, I want to give to you, why is this so overwhelming now? This is what you asked for.
So, my first question is, and I think I've heard Arpain say this before, but I just want clarity. Should women put a little pressure on men to get married? Should she put a little bit of pressure on him? And we're going to use Kadeen's words. She said, I asked you and I told you, what I wanted. I didn't think that was pressure. Maybe you did on your end. Is a woman wanting to be married pressure? Arpain, you're on mute, love. I think everybody's on mute.
For her listen, she set expectations, but she was oblivious to what those expectations meant to him. That's why she couldn't realize that that's pressure. Especially if he wanted to meet what her expectations were, because she's telling him in a way that, you had this my expectation. If you don't want to meet him, then we won't be together. Now, whether that would be true or not when that deadline went off, he didn't know. So whether she called that pressure or not, to him, that's what he heard. So there's nothing wrong with her setting the expectation. I don't have any problem with that. Mm-hmm. She's being what you call it, deliberate. She's setting the expectation, deliberate. She's intended. She's setting her intentions.
Right.
And so it's up to him to meet him, and that's what she threw down the gauntlet. And whether she called that pressure or not, that's what he felt.
Okay. Because now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, it could be pressure for him to perform his husband duties when she's not performing her wifely duties.
What do you mean by that part, though?
Well, she said that if I would have known, which is crazy.
That's another topic, though. Go ahead. I know where you're going with it.
But wouldn't, okay, so all right, you want to get married. Cool. We get married. But now you're not holding up your end of the bargain. But like you said, Arpain, she didn't know what that came with.
That's right.
And she said, well, if I would have known that I would have had to uphold and keep up with your sexual desires, then I would have rethought that. Like I
Right.
wouldn't have done it. So now
Well,
that he's married,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
is it pressure for him to continue to be this husband that she wanted, but she's not granting him the reward, like y'all talk about, call it, which at that point to me is not necessarily a reward because it's his,
Before we get to that part, though, Precious, let's stay on the part where she said what she said, right? If I would have known what my obligations to you were, I might have reconsidered. Let's stop right there first. Now, because I'm one of the advocates that a guy needs to let his woman know, if you want me and we're going to get married and we're going to be monogamous, you have to be my outlet. I think that's one of the conversations you have to have before you get married. I believe so. I think it seldom happens because just a lot of people assume a lot of stuff before they get married, but I think that's one of them. Because just like she said, I think a typical woman don't think about what her goddamn obligations are. She's only thinking about what yours is to her. So she could have actually, the thought probably didn't cross her mind that you're going to be my only piece of box. She knew what kind of sexual savage she was before they got married. So now we could talk about the marriage after that, but that was a critical thing, and I was going to bring that part up. She didn't. It's not like she didn't. She wasn't really being mean or anything. She just didn't think about it like most women don't think about what we want as men. She was just being a woman. She didn't cross her mind. Shoot, you're gonna be my only source of box for a lifetime. Shit, you better be up for the task. All you women out there in the chat, you want to get married? Yeah, you get the box ready.
Go ahead, Coach Berg. Y'all get the box ready. Go ahead, Coach Berg.
First of all, don't get it ready. I mean, listen, it should already be ready. One,
so you ain't gotta be ready.
Just freshen that motherfucker up. Just get that motherfucker fresh. Well, if I throw it in the sky to turn into sunshine, don't be coming up here talking about you got no musty ass coon talking about marrying me. No, it has to be fresh. I mean, but yeah, I mean, and this is the issue, expectations of a marriage is greater than a relationship, but people have to be willing to have those conversations about it. You have to be willing to have those conversations, not just once or twice, maybe 2 or 3 times, because once you make that commitment, then it's like my body don't just belong to me no more. It belongs to my wife. If it's 3 or 4 in the afternoon or 3 or 4 in the morning, I can't be talking about now, she can get it all. Same thing as far as me and her, that's if I want it to be a lifelong experience. She brings it up all the time. She talk about today, we going on our 12th year. I'm like, yeah, 12 long years. But, it's just, I don't know. Everybody has their own way of doing it. I think the conversations need to be had more than anything, in a time of peace, about what the expectations are, and they have to be revisited because people get caught up in their daily lives. And, just because, I don't know, you got to go to work and get off at 6, I might show up and you might come home and shit, I got on them jogging pants and them 2 little jogging pants and no shirt when you walk in the door. I mean, it's a whole lot of variables when marriage is just different than a relationship. And, the expectations just have to be discussed on a continuous basis, and they have to be met. Other than that, you can run into all type of problems. So I don't know. Everybody's different though. I guess when you get older, you understand like it's greater than me. So Once I realized that, everything about my life is just, it just blew up tenfold. Everything. You know, I'll say this and I go, me and my wife live off of $15 a day.
You said that.
So, and we don't want for shit. So it is what it is.
Okay. Uncle Rick, why do women pressure men for monogamy if they can't handle his sexual desires? Or you could answer the first question. I'm sorry. Is it pressure for, or should women pressure men a bit about being married and, you know, going through the whole marriage and not being boyfriend and girlfriend for years or in a relationship?
Yeah, yeah, I think definitely, but I think the pressure should come from the woman she is, not from words, right? Again, if you're a woman of a certain caliber and he sees these things in you, he's gonna marry you,
Mm-hmm.
right? He doesn't want to lose you. What we say, good girls get wife, right? Get wife, right? Right. He doesn't want to lose you. He doesn't want to lose what the gem he has in his hand. It's just that simple. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? You're supposed to pressure him, but by being the woman you are, right? As far as why do women pressure men for monogamy? Because they're not really in it for the sex; they're in it for the resources. The reason why they want the marriage is so they can have access to that man resources. Um, Even with the children, yeah, they want to have children, they want to be mothers, but the children are just another resource of the man. When you really be honest about it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
That's really what it is. So it's like I said, it's all we're all here to do what we're all here to do. You can believe it or not; it's completely up to you. But when you play the game right, it shows in your life, right? It shows in your lifetime. Me and my wife have been together for 24 years, going on 25 next year.
Congratulations.
It shows, right? So, I mean, y'all got it. Y'all got it.
All right. Champ talk. And then after that, we're going to get into final thoughts. But before the final thoughts, I want to, last show, I said I was going to do something and I'm going to come through this show. But go ahead, Champ.
I mean, I really don't even got much to say on this one. I believe that everybody kind of just they all kind of wrapped it up, man. Um, yeah, I think that I do believe a woman should set that expectation. You know, and like our pain said, like we might take that as pressure. If she say, "Hey, look, I don't want to be engaged for, you know, for a year or two. Like I want to be, I want us to be husband and wife before that time. If that you're gonna do what you got to do if that's the woman that you chose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be like, well, she gave me a timeline, so I'm gonna see if I can go over it 30 days. Because you're not gonna play with that. That's who you want to be next to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the second part of that, yeah, I definitely believe that everybody got it. I think that people get into these relationships and marriages, and you know, they don't really have hard conversations these days. People really be getting married and shit just off of feeling.
Or those
He got
like Rick said.
Yeah, he got me a ring. You know what I'm saying? Date date a year out. We still ain't had a tough conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't even just about sex. You know, I know people who be like, I talked to my girl about a prenup and seen a whole nother side of her.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Seen a whole nother side. She wondering if I really love her or not. These are conversations that y'all should have had before you popped the question, my man.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, and so I just think that all like the standards needs to be set. But if I'm doing all these things to you when we are dating, we're together, we boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it. We every time you walk past me, I'm smacking it, or you know, I'm grabbing you, come here, because I like to touch my woman. Now we get married. So you always on me. We was doing this.
And that's a lot. I'm sorry off, but that's usually what happens. Like you the freak hanging from the chandeliers. before the dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
And now it's like the chandelier is still there. Where you at?
Right. When the last time you done flipped off the dresser? I'm trying to see. Like, so yeah, that like that's just that's weird to me. Like you wanted this affection, you wanted this love, this quality time when you was just my girl, when you was my shorty. Now that I make you Miss Franklin, as you see the sign in the back, and now we got problems, we got issues. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, that whole thing is just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, she said it herself, and our pain hit the nail right on the head. She wanted the commitment, but she didn't realize what the commitment meant on her end. And that happens a lot with women. We'll want that wedding, we'll want to be married, we'll want those resources, like Uncle Rick said. But it's like, okay, so now what are you providing? What is your value? What intrinsically can you offer me that no one else can, and things of that nature. It was thunderstorming here, y'all. So I definitely appreciate all you guys' perspective on that, and it seemed as though it was unanimous. I think that unfortunately sometimes, or most of the time, when women don't see that hard work as a wife being put in and day out, they don't know what to expect. They don't, women who have never had a baby before, you get with your man, y'all get married, y'all have a baby, boom, things are changing because the dynamic has changed in your relationship. So like you said, Champ, like those conversations need to take place, whatever shape, form, capacity. If y'all gotta go back in the day, writing notes to each other, like the communication, like you have to keep the communication going somehow, and find that to be unique to you two. Don't think that you got to do things the way everybody else does them because you think that that's working for them. You have to find something that's unique for you and the person you're in a relationship with. And it's essential for a relationship to go the lengths. Uncle Rick is, going on 25 years. Coach Ferg is going on, would you say 15 years or something like that?
13.
13 years. Our pain is 37 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like to 12. To go that extra mile to get to those lengths, excuse me, you guys have to have some type of communication that's unique to you two, where y'all both know the language that y'all are speaking. Y'all are so in sync that it works. And there are going to be times where it don't work because none of us are perfect and everybody has a bad day, right? But at the end of the day, it's y'all against the problem and not y'all against each other, and the problem is just floating around somewhere. But I showed those videos to show that in the first video, it seems as though they're in a better place. And relationship has highs and lows, ebbs and flows. But at one point in time, they weren't in that place. So people may see that first clip and be like, oh, they having the best sex ever. But I showed that clip to say that it takes work. You know what I mean? These things don't just come, just because you're married now. They don't just pop up out of nowhere like, oh, we're married now, everything's going to be perfect. So we have to take that into consideration. And like Champ said, have those difficult conversations. What will sex look like? I mean, if y'all not both vibing on the same sexual playing field, you have to have those conversations. Because if she's not down, it'd be very seldom that you find a woman that's down with the stuff that you down for. Okay, she's just naturally just down for it because that's how y'all are. But there are a lot of women like Kadeen who are not ready for a man's sexual desires. And there are a lot of men who are not wanting to express those sexual desires because they know they woman not ready for it. She's not gonna go to that length to please him. And so that's how the cheating starts, and that's how so y'all have to be on the same page with that stuff because it'll only actually strengthen your relationship. You know what I mean? It'll only strengthen your relationship, in my opinion. I would only think it would strengthen your relationship. All right, so last show, we talked about a couple of books. There are a couple of books that were recommended by Viz the Poet. He came on last show and he recommended some books. So the very first book that he recommended was The Way of the Superior Man. I love books. I will invest in some books. Okay. So The Way of the Superior Man. This is by David Deva. This was one of the books that he suggested. He suggested another book, but that book did not. I couldn't find that book. I don't know. Maybe if he gave me a wrong word in the title or whatever, but I did find The Will to Change Men, Masculinity, and Love by Bell Hooks, which is supposed to be a really good book. And then there's a book, the person who wrote this book also wrote all about love. So I wanted to give these books out to you guys. I wanted to do like a contest or something like that, but I couldn't think of one. I just couldn't think of a contest or whatever. So I'm going to do I'm thinking of a number game, and whoever is closest to it. The first book I'll do is The Way of the Superior Man. I heard this is a really good book. I haven't read it myself, but I'm going to get a couple more copies of it to read it. But the first one is The Way of the Superior Man. So I have a number between 1 and 25. If anyone can guess the number or closest to the number, the book is yours. The Way of the Superior Man. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 25. Anybody want to chat? Want to, chime in? Y'all can chime in. A number between 1 and 25. Who wants to guess? 19. Go ahead.
21.
Did everybody guess? Arpane, did you guess?
21.
No, I got the book. I got an audible credit. So
you have it? I'll be using my audible credit too.
Yeah, 17 for the champ.
Which one did you say, Joe? I don't even know. I know he put up some fingers. Was it 22? Was it 22 for Joe? I see 23 in the chat. Okay, the number is 11. So who was it? Champ? You said 17? No.
22.
You said 22, right? You put up 2 2s. All right. And the second one is The Will to Change, Men, Masculinity, and Love. This is another book I'm going to get a couple more copies of because I want to read this book. So, I want to read this book as well. So I'm going to get another copy of it, a couple more copies of it. But I'm going to say a number between 1 and 50 this time. Between 1 and 50.
49.
Nope. Coach Bird.
I'm gonna say 44. 44.
No.
She's gonna say no.
Joe. It's not.
No, it ain't it, bro.
29.
It's actually 27. So
does anybody hear me? Could you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Got the book.
Nope, nobody can hear me. Oh,
All
you
right.
hear me?
Yes.
I don't know. My service sucks over here. I'm sorry.
It was 27. You guessed 29. So you're the closest.
What?
For that book, The Will to Change. So I'll reach out to you guys. And
So I want a book?
Yes.
Yeah. You wanna...
So I want a book?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You can't. He can't see. I don't think he can see us. Yeah, I don't think he can see us.
We got homework, baby.
All right.
Homework.
You just have the gift of information, and I don't mind investing in the gift of information. I think it's important. I think that again, if you want to expand your vocabulary, it's important to read and write and just broaden what you put your eyes on a daily on a daily basis. And I like books. Y'all don't have to like books. However, you want some tonight. So hey, it's a free book. They always say if you don't want somebody to know something, put it in the book.
Me, I'm gonna read that shit.
I okay.
I'm gonna read. I read now.
So you know what I mean. I hope you guys enjoy it.
I read now. That's what I do.
Let
That's
us
where the
know.
education comes from.
Let us know.
Everybody froze on my screen. I ate my service.
Let us know what you learn after you read, if you so choose so. But I have done my part, and
Everybody froze.
Lord, Joe. All right, Joe. All right, so we're gonna do final thoughts. All right. We'll start with Champ. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. How did you learn about my page? I always ask people who come on for the first time how they learn about my page or my channel.
I mean, well, I think the first time I seen you was on Lapeef.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I had followed that platform for a good minute.
Mhm. Okay.
So I seen you on there, and then I see that you be doing your own live streams and stuff. I was like, yo, like I'm gonna tap in and see what kind of topics she be doing, how her panel be looking. I see you had like some men panels sometimes. So I was like, yo, like I'm gonna tap in, and it took me a minute to even start. You know what I'm saying? So I started my channel like 4 months ago.
Mm.
It just took me a while. I just was like, you know what, like I'm gonna jump out there and start, you know what I'm saying, coming up and see see how the conversations go and just have a good time.
You gotta jump in. I'm glad you did. Thank you. A lot of
Appreciate
people don't realize that I have my own channel, even though JR, he shouts out people and be like, all right, go follow them on their platforms, because I don't really do the panels anymore because my schedule just changed drastically. So it's like I miss you on Lapeef. I'm like, I got my own channel. Like, if you miss me, come see me on my own channel. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
No
Right.
problem.
So we're gonna do final thoughts, and you're welcome anytime. We have these Wednesdays at 9:15 Eastern. So if you're free and you want to join the conversation, you're more than welcome. Invite people, down for good civil conversation, where there's no drama, ain't no fighting. We just having real conversation about things.
Yeah.
So definitely you're welcome back. But we're gonna start final thoughts. So we'll start with you. We'll go over to Joe if he can hear us and we're not frozen. We'll jump up to Coach Ferg, and then we'll end with our pain.
I just want to say thank you guys. Great conversation tonight. Good videos. Just the whole thing from top to bottom was dope. So I definitely will come back and show my face a little bit more, have good conversation, because I just welcome that. I always love different perspectives. I think that's how we grow. So I'm definitely here for it. So definitely salute y'all.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Joe, can you hear us? Are we unfrozen?
I hear you. Yeah, you were frozen. We looked like a half a carton of eggs just now, the four of us, but we're good.
Final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I like this show a lot. I like hearing the guy's perspective. We're pretty much always on the same page about things, so that's good. I like hearing your perspective too, Precious, because you're not like a lot of the other women. You actually know right from wrong, and you're willing to take accountability, where a lot of women nowadays aren't. A lot of men too, but the guys in here all seem to. Everyone in this panel or round table, whatever you want to call it, seem to have a good head on their shoulders, and they discuss logic more than anything, right and wrong. There's really no excuses. And then even last week we discussed. I didn't get to do the final thought, but last week there was a lot of advice my way, trying to shift my perspective. And I liked it because I agreed with it. I had to get out of my own way and start looking at things differently. So I just think it's almost like a support group in a way. If you're willing to be honest about things, you could get some good advice here. you know. And this is a form of education for me. I'm not much of a reader, but I will try, you know. Yeah, I love this show. I'm going to keep coming as much as I can. Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
You're welcome anytime. I appreciate you. All
Same.
righty. Coach Ferg, final thoughts?
Well, as always, this is one of the very few panels that you can go to and there won't be a whole bunch of fighting in a sense. And it's unique to me that very few women come up to panels where women hold people accountable. I never see other women really show up, even if they agree or disagree. It's just odd that, so many of us grown people who have a whole lot of shit to say, because, black folk, we got everything to say on everything. But it's just surprising that a lot of people don't come up to share their views, because I believe that this is a unique space for the modern, so-called modern adult to be in. The strongest of us are arguing and fighting over sex and money and babies, which is unique to me. I never thought that we would be here, but here I am living in it. I think, if anybody looking to have a solid relationship, a solid marriage, I think definitely today the conversations need to be had. You can't leave no stone unturned. You have to have if it comes to your mind while you're in the car, you get home, have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Over dinner, it ain't so much about who's right or wrong. Sometimes it's just about seeing if we can come to a mutual understanding, a mutual agreement to help our relationship. It ain't about nobody else's relationship. And, I would hope that our numbers could get back to 50%. I'll take 50%, because I can't see people from 20 to 40 going all those years just having sex and making babies with no building. This shit would be treacherous to us as a race of people. And, so, we're going into the new year, man. Everybody get in shape for New Year's, man. The Olympics is coming up. Get our dumbass kids in shape so they can go participate in the Olympics. And when I say stuff like that, I'm just being facetious. The kids are smarter than we are. Treat them as such. Don't teach our children dumb shit. Teach them how to read and write. If your kid can't write in cursive, teach them that shit. It takes 3 days. Teach them how to wash their dirty clothes. Teach them a whole lot of shit that we can say we weren't taught as children. They change the dynamics of our future. So, it's always a good show, man. And I appreciate everybody's perspective. And, hey, let's keep doing it, man. The end of the year is here. Thanksgiving. If you can't cook, goddamn it, learn how to cook so a man can come over and fix all the broken shit in your apartment or house and shit, because he will come to eat. But, other than that, man, everybody, man, have a safe week, man. So, Precious, are you going live next week?
I was just about to look at the calendar.
It's Thanksgiving Eve.
Oh, that's right. You have to make a decision today.
Yeah, I have family coming in, so I'm not sure. Next week we might be off just because of the holiday, but I'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah. Got some female cousins coming in?
Because I may have to
I do.
everything. Huh?
You got some female cousins coming in?
Do I honestly have more male cousins than female cousins.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I think my cousin, I got more male cousins than female cousins, but maybe one or two may come. But
What do you need to know for?
Hey, man, listen, man, there's some single guys out there, man, who's looking for good women, man. I'm sure if they hang around Precious, they like-minded, so you never know.
I have a good friend in the chat, my friend Marcy.
And just in case my wife leave me, I'll be, something happens. I know she ain't. I'll be back on the market, and I come with resources and benefits and all that shit.
Well, let's hope that's never the case, okay? Because I don't travel with that many people anyway.
Oh, it ain't gonna be the case. I ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere.
Out of state,
She going to bed. Hey, boo. Hey, Marcy.
Marcy, that's my good friend.
Hey, big head.
Yeah, hey, big head.
I got two friends. She's one of them.
That's
married, having babies, and doing her thing. I don't hang around a whole bunch of people. I don't have time to. Um, so, yeah, and like I said, cousins, I have it's more guys than we was always the girls that couldn't do nothing because, or I was always the the odd person out because the girl cousins I do have were older than me, and so it was like, all right, they doing things that I'm not of age to do, but then it's my brother and then my other, male cousins and my brother and them cling together like glue, and it's just like, you know. What am I supposed to do? So yeah, I got sisters. I'm the oldest of 7. I definitely got some sisters. That's for
So
sure.
salute to your parents. You can
Salute to my parents. Michelle and Kenneth, you did a great job. Okay. All right. Final words, Arpain.
Yeah, listen, I look forward to these sessions on Wednesday. Hey, salute to the panel and stuff. The conversation's cool. I like to see the expression on your face every time we surprise you. It's
They wasn't too bad.
This is how men think, But these are good topics, and I keep it going. I forgot about Wednesday. I do have a Wednesday show at 7. A sports show. Bird comes there. Anybody wants to come to my channel, R Payne, Marriage, Politics, and Sports, 1241. Get to my channel. At 7 o'clock, come in. You want to talk sports? I cover the whole gamut. But it's like an hour. I keep it to an hour, 7 Eastern. Okay. And but we have fun because I go live then. And Coach Ferg comes up a lot, a couple other fellas, and I drop the link for people I know, and that'll be cool. So we talk sports. We like sports. Anyway, but I very seldom plug my channel, but I have one too.
Your channels, I don't mind that. I don't,
But anyhow, so I did a live on Black Man Unfiltered channel last night, and what I did at the end, the topic was the Black folks after after DEI. I mean, how Black folks live in a post DEI America.
Okay.
Right, so that was the title. And one of the things at the end of the chart, I had a chart of me and my wife. She was looking at me like she actually loved me, And I put it to song because I did my AI song. I have a good one for that. And at the end, I just told people we need to bring back everlasting love. I don't care how it looks. Marriage, we're married. Everybody's not going to get married, but we need to stop passing each other around. I mean, even like Coach Ferg even said, we need to find a way to cling to because that's our nature. To cling to a man, cling to a woman cleave to a man, and that's how we build communities. I mean, that's how it happens, Everybody's not going to do it, but we need more people doing that and stop telling the youth when they get to their 20s that they need to be idiots until they want to settle down in their 30s. Shit doesn't work. Yeah. It does not work. So anyhow, but that's my little 2 cents. And if Wednesday we're off, I'll probably be cooking most of the day, for that's so that's cool. I have a couple of ideas already. I always get a turkey, I always do a prime rib roast. I smoke it and stuff, but I got something else special I'm gonna cook. And then the wife has a bunch of stuff. My daughter's gonna bring something over. Thanksgiving. Then I'm gonna look at it and say, "Golly, man, all this work I've been putting in, I can't go back." So after all that cook, I can't even eat it. It's always the seconds that the next day, the day of, I'm too tired to really eat a lot. I'm gonna be watching football.
You know what I saw too, and I was like, I'm gonna suggest this to everybody. So how people. Well, I've never had this happen. Maybe this happened in the ratchetest families. I don't know, but how people will come to your house for Thanksgiving, but then they bring like they Tupperware and stuff.
So they can take. Oh yeah.
But I saw today that a lady had the muffin pans that like the 6 muffin pans.
Yeah.
And if you want to take Thanksgiving, I think it's good for portion control, but hey, I don't know. But if you want to take a plate home, you just fill each, little cup with some pie instead of being like a gluttony and like just slapping it on the. I was like, that's actually a good idea.
It sounds like a good idea.
This muffin pan, like this is for my to go. But it's also good for portion control for those who are trying to watch. Their
Well, as long as you don't have the family members that make their plates before, soon as they get there. To go play soon as they get there.
No, they can't do that.
Yeah, people do that shit.
Going to be my father, and then y'all can fall in line. Like that's just that's his house. He's the man of the house, and that's who's going to be getting his play first. Yeah, y'all need to see some lessons during this Thanksgiving on how it should go and how it should really be. But no, I've never experienced someone a Thanksgiving where somebody actually brought over the Tupperware. But hey, it happens in family. So I just give you a different little something to bring over, that can also help portion control for y'all. But I appreciate all you guys, Rick, who was on the panel a little earlier, and everyone who came out. Champ, this is your first time. You don't want to book. That video that you wanted me to send you, I'm going to have to send it a different way because it's like a 3-minute video. It won't let me send it through IG. So we'll get together about that. But thank you guys, even everyone in the chat. I appreciate you guys for being here, participating. Those who have sent cash apps, Harrison, Darnell, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. I probably should shout those out during the show, but the conversation just be going and I don't want anyone to lose their thought, but definitely know I do see when they come through. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel, the panel, and the platform. I appreciate you guys. Definitely hit that like button, subscribe, follow me on Instagram too, because I post a lot of stuff on Instagram that I actually bring over here to YouTube. So I'll post a lot of videos that get a lot of traffic, a lot of comments and things of that nature. So you guys can definitely be informed that way too about the lives, if we'll go live next week or if we're not. But I do know that's definitely a preparation day. I may also have to work that day. So we may just not have a show that day, and you guys will be missed. But I hope that you have great times with your families. I hope that you do find, things to be grateful for. Let it be a day of reflection, a day of gratefulness, appreciation, and just a day with your family. Like I said, I have family coming out of town, and so whenever the family gets together, it's always a good time. It's always just good stuff, good conversations, laughs, games, food, all that good stuff. So I wish that for you guys. Have a great holiday to your families. My final words are always keep it real with yourself so you can keep it real with everybody else. If you can't keep it real with yourself, you're going to find it hard to keep it real with everybody else. You're going to find it hard to be hot, honest, open, and transparent. Sean has been off of the panel for a little bit. He reached out to me. And hopefully he's back soon. But, he always uses that word. He's like, I always tell people about the acronym HOT, honest, open, and transparent. And you have to be hot with yourself first before you can be hot with anybody else. And so those will always be my final words. Be hot, be honest, open, and transparent. That's how you'll be real with yourself. And then it should flow with everybody else. You know what I mean? You should be able to speak the truth and then roll up your lips and it not be something that you're second. Oh, should I have said that? Should I have? No, be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. If you can't be real with yourself, then other people will sense that. I can sense when people aren't real with themselves, or when they're people pleasing, or when they're doing this for this validation, and or when they're not comfortable doing something. It's like, no, be real with yourself. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. If you want to be there, be there. Like, you know what I mean? Just be real with yourself. Be fully okay with it for yourself before you try to include anybody else or talk to anybody else about it, or want, anyone else's opinion. Deep down what is good for you and what is not good for you. That deep down. It deep down. There's a difference between needing advice and wanting someone for their knowledge and expertise. Mm-hmm. And then there's, I'm going to go see what everybody else trying to do. I'm going to go see what everybody else on. And I was always the person that never wanted to be what everybody else is on. If anybody who knows me know, I didn't have a clique in high school. I didn't have people that I just wanted to be around all the time. Maybe my basketball team, but we were a team, you know what I mean? But other than that, I didn't have anyone that it was just like, I want to see what y'all doing. No, you need to, blaze your own trail, be your own person, do what feels right to you and what, God has called you to do too. That's a huge part of it, because we could do what we want to do, but doing what we want to do may just lead up to some chaos. So Just be real with yourself. That'll always be my final words. Again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Happy Thursday at this point. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see y'all next time.
All right.